make us proud. CanesWear crew, you hear the crowd. Hurricanes ain't backing down. Every play, every score, raising bets and raising roar. Rocking orange, green galore, all for one and one for four. We got FTSN, taking names, winning again. Podcast fam, till the end, tune in, now let's begin.
Hello, and welcome to the CanesWear podcast. What do we got? Who Wants Smoke there, Gio? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Who Wants CanesWear podcast? Who Wants Smoke? We got it here. Brett and Gio. Mando will be joining us soon. I hope everybody's excited. We got so much going on right now. We got, 6 days to Christmas about. We've got Hanukkah going on. We've got a little game coming in College Station in a couple of days. I don't know if anybody's aware of it. I know people come to the store. I say, hey, I heard the Canes are playing soon. They say, really? I didn't know that, but everybody's excited. The energy around the store, the energy on X, the energy everywhere. It's unbelievable. But the good news is, Gio, the really good news is all I hear is chirping from one side of the ball, and that's that team, Texas A&M, ATM, and all the SEC guys that are doing these shows. It's like Texas A&M, every single week we play a game. We play against the best team in the country because we are the SEC. We're going to beat the pants off that lowly ACC team. Did you see that? Duke won that conference at 7-5. I mean, what do you think about Miami's touted defensive line? Oh, we ran against Missouri. We can run against everybody. We play the SEC every week. We're just going to beat the pants off these guys. And every announcer, like, Miami hasn't played anybody. Miami would probably be a 500 team at best if they played that rigid Texas A&M schedule, who, by the way, they didn't play a bad Alabama. They didn't play a bad Oklahoma. They didn't play a decent Georgia. They didn't really play anybody. They beat Notre Dame, which we did, so this is the battle of beating the Irish. Before I introduce the greatest man in show business himself, Gio, I will say we are sponsored by CanesWear, the Spot Miami fan shop, and we are on the FTSN network, so please, Bobby and the team do a fantastic job. Like and subscribe, the FTSN, lots of great information on there. I remember CanesWear, the Spot Miami fan shop. Gio, we got this new shirt in right here. Can you see this? Nope, there you go. It's we're in, baby. We got it in orange, few left. We got green. We got another great Adidas shirt. We got pennants. We got magnets, decals. They're flying off the shelf. Business has been crazy. Everybody's excited. And I'm going to take a breath now and say, welcome to the show, the one, the only, the magnificent Gio. How are we doing, Gio?
I'm doing good, actually. Pretty much wrapped up holiday shopping. Took the kids to see Santa today. Hopped on to go live shortly thereafter. Been super busy with holiday season, but it's always very important when the Canes play, and a postseason game at that. Very, very important.
Been a long time, Gio. A long, long time. I mean, the last time we were in a championship game, it was called the BCS, correct?
Yes.
It wasn't called the CFP. And then before that, we were just in bowl games that determined the national champion. If you remember the first championship the Canes won, I don't know if you were born at that time, actually.
But
in 1983, the Canes were what? We ranked 5th or 6th. And we played the number one team in the nation. I don't think anyone thought we could be the champions, but then we beat the number one team, the greatest team ever, no less, Nebraska, and we jumped over everybody else. Things like that can't happen nowadays, and they definitely couldn't happen in the BCS days. So the first time ever in the CFP, I am so excited, Gio. How are you feeling?
I'll put it to you like this. I've tried to keep my mind away from it because, just the long wait in between and whatnot. But it's really hit me over the last 24 hours. Like, wow, like this is really going to happen. Like Miami's going to play in their first ever playoff game back in the postseason for the first time in 20 years. Especially even an environment like that, at Kyle Field, over 100,000 screaming fans on the road. And what better environment could you ask for Miami's first playoff game ever? And on top of that, they're going to be rocking the Stormtroopers as well. So,
going to be exciting, huh? Keep hearing Miami hasn't played in front of anything over 70,000 people this year. We're not going to be able to handle the crowd. I'm thinking to myself,
here's my thing.
70 or 100, what's the difference?
Here's my thing about the crowd comments. Will it play some type of factor? Yeah, the crowd can always play a factor in any game. I think a team that is coming on the road can feed off of that too. The energy, the environment. It's not like this is the first big game that Miami's going to play in under Cristobal. I think people forget this, but Miami against the Power Four, since Mario Cristobal has arrived, in non-conference Power Four games, they are 4-1. They are 4-1. They've won their fair share of games. Some of those have been on the road. Some have been at home. The one loss is to A&M in 2022, but those are two totally polar opposite teams, both programs compared to 2022. Different coaches at that.
No doubt about it. And it's, what a difference this team is versus that team. Nothing against that team that we played the last time in the brutal Kyle Field, which we probably should have won that game. I mean, I don't think too many Canes fans thought afterwards that we should have lost it. Everybody thought we should have won that game. If you were a Cane fan, it was just a long list of disappointments when we went on the road. And, playing in an SEC was a big game for us. We talked about it last week. We had the fumble by Tyreek Stevenson, I think that was a huge play that turned everything around. And what we lose by a touchdown in that game?
About 10 points. But there was several opportunities for Miami to get points.
We had no offense.
Yeah,
we had the Gaddis doing it. We had opportunities, and then we were playing in front of a full house because a lot of Canes fans went there, and they said they were sitting up by the airplanes, I think, in the bleachers. They were just happy to be there. So if that team could play in that game, I mean, I know Texas A&M is a little bit better than they are, but there is no comparison to this Cane team versus that Cane team. We've got an experienced quarterback. Then we had a freshman. It was Tyler Van Dyke. It's his first year, second year probably.
Second year playing, yeah.
I mean, you hear all this stuff about Beck. Beck can't play against a tough SEC schedule. I hear all these SEC guys saying, I mean, I don't know. Last time I checked, did he play for Georgia for a few years?
Yeah, he did.
He had a great year, and then he had not a great year. And but still better than a lot of quarterbacks we had in the past. And now he's what, 35-3, 35-5, 34-5?
Somewhere around that mark.
He had a couple of bad games, but everybody expects as soon as he throws one pick, he's going to throw a bunch. So, I mean, obviously the quarterback's important in this game. If he plays well, we should win this game, I believe.
Yeah, I think mostly the game will come down to that factor of winning the turnover battle. Texas A&M's defense, for that matter, their fans have acted a certain way. They've said certain things throughout the past week and a half, 2 weeks now. The reality is Texas A&M's defense has not produced many turnovers throughout this season. As a matter of fact, they only have 3 interceptions through 12 games this season. They haven't produced a lot of turnovers. So what, could they have a marquee game where they have multiple picks and whatnot? Yeah, it could happen to anyone. But at least when you go off of trend and what has been shown this year, I'm not saying they're a bad defense, but what I'm saying is they don't create a ton of turnovers. So that is where this game is going to be won, because for all the discourse about, when Carson Beck throws interceptions or whatever, ever since that Louisville game that Carson Beck had earlier this year, he's been almost spotless in terms of turnovers since that game. Like, was it ugly? Yes, it was a very ugly performance. 4 interceptions. It doesn't get any worse than that. Potentially could have been a 5th in that game. However, he's cleaned it up a lot since then. And actually, just even his performance throughout November, you stack it up against any other quarterback that last month of the regular season, it's as good as anyone that had played in the month of November. So Carson Beck has been playing his best football. Marcel Reed has had his moments this year as well, but for the discourse about Beck's interceptions, Reed has had some turnover-prone worthy moments this year too. Neither of these guys are coming into this game without their own share of warts. No, none of them are perfect.
Absolutely. Good point. And you can't compare, say, one quarterback. Now, anything can happen during the game. Like I said in a post, with all these guys chirping, number one, the Canes need a second bulletin board in that locker room. I mean, because there is so much talk, and I love what the Canes are doing. God bless those guys. Let them play. Let them do what they do, and everything. And Mario, everyone's quiet. But the point is, these guys are talking. The Canes are quiet. I just think it's a perfect scenario. So one of two things can happen. They're going to say, all the SEC guys and or Texas A&M fans are going to say, we were right. Miami is nothing. Or possibly, hey, Miami was a good battle. But if they win the game, they're going to say Miami was nothing. Or they're going to say, did anybody get the license plate of that Mack truck that just ran us over? I think that's going to happen. I think that'd be a cool shirt. The Mack truck running over the Texas A&M Aggie with the license plate, go Canes on the back.
No, that would definitely be some good merchandise. But I agree with you in the sense of what some of their players and fans have even said. And just sticking more so to the theme of the players, like, for example, I don't think Trey Zune, their left tackle, was necessarily trying to bad talk Ruben Bain, but it's the delivery and the way that it came out. And even Ruben Bain shared this week during the media rounds with all of us that, he tries not to look into that stuff so much. And he said, look, hey, if that's what motivates them, all power to them if that's their type of game, but I'm just going to focus on what I'm doing, he said. So, meanwhile, the back of my mind thinks that Ruben Bain is in his apartment earlier this week, writing down F Texas A&M, F the Aggies, and any other things that you could think of that he would be writing in his personal notebook that he shared a few times this year. Just trying to etch that into his brain before game time. So, yeah. We'll see what happens with that. Trey Zune is a very talented player, but for the record, although he's very talented, the other side of Texas A&M's line this year has had trouble with pass rushers. So there is some weak spots up front on their line, and I think Miami will try to attack that. Now, again, like I said in the previous show that we had, if I'm Texas A&M, how would you combat Miami? You would combat Miami by trying to take the staple of what Louisville threw at Miami. Louisville threw the best game plan at Miami this season by far. Any team Miami played this year. Was Miami the better team compared to those two? Yes, but they got out-schemed, plain and simple, in that Louisville game. So any team who wants an introspective of how can we beat Miami? How can we get Miami out of their element? How can we neutralize their pass rush enough? It's that right there. But then, I see some of the comments from their players, aside from the offensive linemen. They had some defensive players saying too, they're like, oh, we're not really worried about their run game. And, we held Missouri under this and that and whatever. And Missouri has a very talented running back in Ahmad Hardy, but Missouri does not have the same offensive line that Miami has. It's a very different beast that Texas A&M is going to face. And I almost akin it to look at what happened when they played Texas at the end of the regular season. Texas loads up on the offensive and defensive lines with top-tier talent year in and year out. And Texas A&M, they look like they didn't belong in that last game.
No, absolutely. Would you say Missouri, outside of Texas, Missouri is the best team they played?
In terms of Texas A&M, yeah, I would say pretty much Missouri is the other best team.
A team they kept ranked. What they finished, 8-4 or 7-5?
Missouri, I believe they had 9 wins this year.
They did have 9. I didn't realize they had that much. So we shall see.
Missouri was 8-4 this year.
8-4. That's what I thought. So yeah, we shall see what happens. It's going to be exciting. I can't believe it's 11 o'clock in the morning, but I think that's an early game for kids to wake up at. I've not seen it. That's crazy. But you know what? that could benefit us. Obviously, it's you know what? It's not going to be night. It's not going to be cold. The fans are not going to be as drunk. Well, they're going to start at 6 or 7 o'clock. Obviously, I just think we got to take that crowd out early, and I feel really, really good about this game. I mean, that and 25 cents won't get me much these days. It won't even get me a newspaper. They used to have those. For anyone that's too young, they had these things you'd read. Have a lot of pages, the comics, food section, the sports. Good days, but you don't get too much. The point is, I believe we are going to win this game well, and I think a lot of people do, but they got to play it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this much. I think that committee set up that bracket really interesting when you consider like storylines for Miami if they continue to advance. For example, they get past this game, it's kind of that we beat Notre Dame bowl and whatnot is essentially what this game is Saturday. Probably the most interesting first round game of any, considering the matchup. And then the next round, they would see Ohio State, all the implications behind that. And you go back to that Fiesta Bowl way back and whatnot. And there's potential that they could face Georgia in the round after that if they were to get that far. And then the storylines between Beck and Georgia and former team. And if they make it all the way, then there's a possibility it could be an Oregon or Indiana. Both have storylines there. Oregon, the team that Mario coached, or Indiana facing Fernando Mendoza, who won the Heisman and is from the backyard of Miami. So plenty of storylines there if Miami can continue to advance. Obviously, take it one game at a time. Focus on this game this Saturday. I like the fact that it is a noon Eastern game or 11 Central time. I think that eliminates the crowd factor.
Totally.
I don't think the same exact energy would be there in comparison to a night game.
Totally. And a lot of people are going to be partying at night. Things are going on Friday night. It's early Saturday. It's the holiday season. Ton of parties Friday. I think Friday night's probably the most popular night for Christmas parties for offices and everything like that this year because Christmas is coming up. So a lot of people are going to be gone. I think, it couldn't be a better time for us. And we're going to have a healthy team. I've heard he's probable, right? Zero is probable this game.
Keontae Scott, yes.
So, listen, it's been a while since Keontae Scott has lined up back there. Thomas healthy. I mean, it's going to be interesting with those guys in the middle. Poyser, the way he's playing right now, I mean, it's going to be very difficult for them to throw on us, I think. So if we can shut down their run a little bit, we're in good shape. So we're going to get to the questions and comments. I'll read them now. And remember, CanesWear, we're open tomorrow, 10 to 7. We're open 10 to 7 on Saturday. Jeff, me, John will be watching the game in the store. We do have Malachi Tony youth jerseys in stock. We have about 50 of those left. And we do have some adult jerseys. We'll be putting them online tomorrow. We probably have about 20 of them right now. We'll have more over the weekend as they get made. They look amazing. And we'll have them in white and orange and green. Doing a lot of other cool things at CanesWear. And we win this game Saturday. It's like 10 more days of happiness for everybody, especially happiness for CanesWear. For fans, that CanesWear's like, all right, everybody's juiced. It's amazing. When you got something to play for, people are excited. People come in just so happy now. It's like it's not the holidays. When your team is still alive for the second season, like I call it, the second season, you are so pumped and excited. Everybody's happy when they come in there. Unless it's a Knowles fan coming in there to buy Panther stuff, which God bless them. We love them. They come in to buy Panther stuff, or a Gator fan, which we love all teams because CanesWear, we bleed orange, but definitely green. And we want that, the Gator fans. I love when they call up and they say, you won't believe, they tell their friend, you won't believe where I'm at. I'm buying a Messi jersey at CanesWear. I'm buying, I'm getting a kid's jersey. I'm getting something for the Panthers, the Stanley Cup Panthers at CanesWear. I say, listen, it's not too late for you guys to change teams. If you're going to be a local South Florida fan, we'll accept you, but you got to really, really appreciate the you. All right, let's start Juan Manuel. Welcome to the show. Hey, y'all, 48 hours from the biggest game Miami's played since that day in Tempe, Arizona, January 3rd. Judas yellow flag thrown by that rat, Terry Porter. May red fire ants consume Your balls in hell. Terry Barter passed. I didn't even know that. Or is he still here? I guess that's just
he's still around.
Anticipation. Yeah. Okay. Juan Manuel and his bunch hasn't tried to take him out yet. Gentlemen, season greetings to you, your family, and all the servicemen. Canes fans, take a moment like drinking a fine wine. Look, smell, zip it, taste it, save the memory and moment of this playoff. That is so true. You don't know when it's – I mean, I know it feels like, to me, to everybody, it feels like it's going to happen every year now. But there's no guarantee. I do feel confident it's going to happen more and more. But we're here, and we got that ACC championship game that year, and we never got back, right? In 2017?
Yeah.
So let's appreciate this, but we do feel good right now. And speaking of feeling good, Mr. Muscle himself, the Schmedium, Mando, welcome to the show.
Hey, good evening, guys. How you guys doing? What's up, G? B? How you guys doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Living the dream. Living the CFP dream.
I hear there's a pretty big game in less than 2 days, right?
You've heard that too. It's a rumor.
You heard it too? I didn't know.
A lot of people in the store day going up. So it's
I'm like Brett tonight. I usually wait till Friday, but it's been a long week. So here you go, Brett. Cheers.
Exactly. Cheers. I got a little bit left here and a couple there. Cheers, Mando.
There you go.
A lot of people going up. You've seen. I know you're starting a ticket broker business, aren't you, Mando?
No, maybe soon. It's something that interests me, but yeah, it's good to see Miami fans starting to fly out there, and the team arrived. They posted the video a little while ago, so they look all business. They look ready to rock. They went from, I believe, they got off the bus right to the field and then back to the hotel. So we're almost there, guys.
Almost there. Just give me a win. I don't care if it's 1 point, or 100 points. I'm going to be happy as long as we win.
Survive in advance, yeah.
Gio, how is the team
going? Cruise in the hotel.
Exactly. I'm surprised Mondo's not going up there. It should have said, honey, take the kids. I'm going up.
No, actually, it's the timing of the day that was rough because my daughter actually has an event. She does dance, so she has an event. Luckily, it's at in late afternoon. So thankfully, the game's not at night. So I'll be here watching the game at home, and then I'll head to her thing after. But no, I couldn't go up there or left. I couldn't go west.
I think you could. I didn't think you could.
Picture Mando on Saturday if Miami wins.
Yeah.
He is not going to be able to focus on his daughter's event afterwards. He's going to be like, yeah, wait, honey, did you see that? Yeah, no, I saw it. Go Miami!
No, she's so heavy into this.
Did you see that? Oh, yeah, sure I did.
Yeah, no, but she's so heavy into it that she actually has – the game's at noon, as you know. At 2 o'clock, she's got one event that she's going – I'm not going to that one. And then she has a second one at 6. I'll go to that one. So I'll be here watching the game and screaming my ass off.
So if they win, we'll see how many posts you do at 6 o'clock.
Mucho. Oh, if we win, you're not going to shut me up till like 2 in the morning. I'm telling you.
It's going to be a party. I should just make CanesWear party headquarters. Everybody come by and get a shot.
A lot of people are picking Miami, so.
3 shots at CanesWear if we win. Can I do that?
Mando, it doesn't surprise me. I think Miami matches up well with A&M.
Sure.
I think we're going to destroy them, but that's just me.
I don't know about destroy. I mean,
I just think we're going to take them out of the game quickly. They're not going to know what hit them, in my opinion, if we play our game. Juan Manuel, Gio, how is the team health looking? There's a video of Upshaw who is questionable, looking in a regular uniform, running, stretching with the team. There was also a freak-looking guy wearing 14.
Yeah, so you're talking about Dalen Upshaw with his injury. That's lower extremity. The same for Damari Brown. I've seen people asking about his injury and whatnot. Both kind of up in the air. Will be game time decisions if those guys go. OJ Frederick's been full go. Keontae Scott has been full go and running, as I mentioned the last couple weeks. I know everyone was highly wondering about that. Is he going to play? Is he not? Or whatever. I mentioned last week that, Miami's side at least was extremely optimistic that he was going to be able to give it a go. How much he plays, we'll see. From what I understand, there may be a snap count there just to keep him fresh within that game Saturday. But it's still a huge boon for the Miami defense to get him back, though.
Oh yeah.
The impact that Keontae Scott makes, whether it's 30 or 40 snaps on Saturday, it's still a major help.
Absolutely. And they've been really filling in well without him. Other guys are stepping out. So when he's in there, it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Gio, it looks like Hayden Lowe has been practicing with the team in pads before this week. He was in a regular jersey, not yellow or black, a cautionary jersey. I wonder, a playoff run, can he help us?
He could. We'll see where he fits into the rotation if they decided to give it a go with him. It's very late into the season. He was going to factor in during the regular season this year. You would have saw plenty of him this season. Just obviously it was unfortunate, the injury he had right after week 1. They kind of shut it down with him and spoke about that process. But here's the main thing, though. If he does play in the postseason, his red shirt still remains clean. He would be a red shirt freshman next year. Preserves a whole other year.
Wow, that's awesome. Let's see. The kid Javi, it's great to be a Miami Hurricane. Absolutely. Going to restock on them Adidas playoff polos. We are working on them, yes. If we win this game, we hope to get some more in. When we win this game, we have more polos coming in for sure. Luis Delgadillo. We are too confident for this game. It's starting to worry me.
Hey, man, I'd be worried if we were pessimistic about the game. Yeah. You got to be confident. We're one of the few teams in the country right now with a chance to win the national championship. So, I mean, let's go.
Not according to everybody else, Mando. There's plenty of guys out there. Here are the 6 teams that can win it. I just hope that's on the bulletin board. The many bulletin boards.
Yeah.
They're all saying, you heard them before saying, if Miami gets in, they can win it. But now that Miami is in, it's like, Miami's got no chance of winning. I love hearing that.
Good. I mean, that's fine. Well, I mean, to get to the national championship game, you would have to beat Texas A&M, Ohio State, and then most likely, the Ole Miss Georgia winner. It probably might be Georgia, but if they get to the end, even to get to the end after beating those 3, would be crazy. Like, that would be a hell of a run.
Yeah, it would be well deserved.
Even the biggest Miami hater on the biggest Miami hater on earth couldn't even say a word or letter if we were able to get to the national championship after beating those 3 teams. Like, that'd be crazy.
No doubt about it. They have the same path as us, correct? Texas A&M.
Yes.
Yeah, they're on our side. Yeah, the other side's a little more questionable, but I know obviously everybody's got Indiana. I think Oregon's going to come out of the other side. I don't know why, but I think Oregon is going to come out of the other side.
You think so, even despite Oregon's injury concerns they have at receiver?
They're going to, we've had some time off. Obviously, they're going to win this Saturday. Then they would face Texas Tech. Until proven otherwise, I don't think they would lose that game, even though Texas Tech's
I think Texas Tech's going to be a pain.
Oh, they're good.
Nobody's talking Texas Tech.
That game would be here.
For teams because of how good that defense is.
Yeah, that game would be here. That would be a hell of a matchup here in Miami between those 2 teams. So
I'd love to see that game. I think Texas Tech is we know the Buys did not do well last year. They all lost, and we're hoping they all lose this year, especially if we're in there.
The playoffs start tomorrow night. Alabama and Oklahoma, 2 teams which I have no respect for. I don't think Oklahoma's offense to me is garbage, and Alabama basically stayed at the 9 seed after getting smoked by Georgia in the SEC championship. But hey, it is what it is.
Absolutely. So, like I said, they're picking Texas A&M as one of the top 6. Everybody says they've got a chance, but Miami doesn't. We're only a 3-point underdog, but Texas A&M is 11-1 to win it all, and we're 20-1.
That's fine.
So I like it. I like being the underdog. Ralph 3986, welcome to the show. Brett is selling merchandise. Is that a question mark? Absolutely. We're selling merchandise at CanesWear, Ralph. Lots and lots of good. Oh, we just got a ton of really good hoodies in. A ton of really nice hoodies that we just put out. Like I said, the Malachi jersey are out now. God bless us all in Advent. All right, Ralph, thank you very much. God bless us all for sure. Charles Dawson, Scott will be playing, and we're feeling it, right, Gio? He is
Correct.
probable. The running back for the Texas A&M is questionable, though, correct?
Yeah, Le'Veon Moss, he's been out for several weeks. I've heard it's unlikely that he's going to play. They're going to try to give it a go with him before the game, but they're not too optimistic about that. That's a big blow for them because there is, depending on who you speak to around that program with Texas A&M, they do think Moss is their best back.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's what I thought. Let's see. Us versus the world mentality. Wait, we missed a couple here. Where did I miss that?
You have H. Canes. He said, Brett, tip of the cap. Got my order today. Game shirt is here. Thank you.
Awesome, H. Canes. Thank you so much for thinking of us and getting that. The girls, Christy, Kristen, and Jeff, who's not a girl, and Michelle have been shipping like crazy. They said to me last night they caught up on everything besides a couple of days, and then today it's all the things are processed. We're working our hardest to get everybody their shipments. Dolphin Derek had something. He ordered a Dolphin Team Cancer Hurricane backpack. He said, Brett, where's my package? I said, I don't know. I looked it up. It said it was in Lakeland, but then they sent it from Lakeland to Wisconsin. I have no idea what the post office did. Then it went around. Then he finally got it. We had a person that they sent it to Pennsylvania. They sent it to Pennsylvania. It arrived in Pennsylvania, Lancaster, and then the next day it was in Puerto Rico. I have no idea how things jump around there. It's like these items are getting free tours around the world. Let's see. Fire Marine Kane. What's good, fellas? Go Canes. Absolutely. Gio, Luis Del Gilo. Ligio, I see too many of us are too confident for this game. Am I missing anything?
I don't think it's – I think it's a nice change, to be honest, because Miami fans have had a lot of PTSD for a while now. I think the confidence is definitely a nice change. I think it's also people coming around to the fact that win or lose, Miami's not going to be blown off the field. They're not going to be shown that they don't belong.
I agree. Now, here's a good point. Ralph says, hey, Brett, you're all hyped about something, man. I am hyped. I'm hyped because it doesn't matter if we're nervous about this game, I'm worried about it, or hyped about it. As I tell my kids all the time who are older, I say, listen, you just look at, no matter what you feel inside, it's not going to change anything that we have no control over. We have no control over this game. So why worry about it? Why worry that we may lose? It does. If we don't win this game, you know what? We had a great year. We went to the playoffs. You know what? We're not back, but we're moving in the right direction. Mario got over the hump by getting us to the playoffs. But you might as well feel good and excited about it because you can't get this time back. If you worry about it and we lose, what does it make you feel better? That
I mean, what are we gonna do? Be doom and gloom and like go walk in and say, exactly. Oh, we don't stand a chance. It's 102,000 people. Like, what are you gonna do? I mean,
exactly.
You know what I compare it to? One of my sons actually loves Charlie Brown Peanuts, right? and the old cartoons. There was one of Charlie Brown Valentine's, right? Mm-hmm. And there's this little red-haired girl that Charlie Brown's obsessed with, and he's always telling his friends, "Oh, but I can't talk to her because she's something and I'm nothing. But if she was nothing and I was nothing, then I could talk to her. Or if I was something and she's nothing, then I could talk to her." You can't be afraid of what's going to go wrong. Like, there's a part where Lucy tells Charlie Brown, because Charlie Brown's like, oh my God, but like, if I ask her out, and then what if I realize that I don't like her? And then she tells him, you dolt, like, you're worrying about something that hasn't even happened yet.
But that story sounds like a nervous me before I approached my wife years ago.
I think it's all of us. I think it's all of us, Mando. How many times do we worry about something? Should I talk to her? Should I not talk to her? Should I call her? Should I not call her? We've all been there, that's for sure. There's nothing like
yeah, but seriously,
feeling.
I mean, our team the last month or so is playing great football, man. I mean, yeah, we didn't play good against Louisville. We play like shit against SMU, but people that know a lot of more football than I do.
Mando got zapped. I think he's
they're trying to shut up Mando tonight.
They're trying to shut up
Texas
Mando.
A&M fans.
That's probably. I'm wondering when will be the first Texas A&M fan. All right.
There was a few last week. Yeah.
He's back. Mando, what were you saying?
Uh-oh. There we go.
No, my bad. I'm sorry. Actually, somebody called. You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Mando.
Okay, my bad. No, where was I? Help me pick up. What was I saying?
People that know a lot more football than me. People that know
like
a lot
Nick
more football than me.
Saban, Danny Cannell. You know, Danny Cannell despises us. He's picking Miami. So, yeah, I mean, they could Miami lose? Of course. This is not a 4 out of 7. 3 out of, this is not a series. Anybody can win or lose on one day. You know, you fumble the ball twice, you throw a pick, you have 10 penalties. Shots fired. You can lose. It's one football game. Anybody can lose. Anybody can win. But yeah, you're damn right. We're a 3.5 point dog on the road against a 1-loss team. Shouldn't that tell you something? I mean, yeah, we have a great shot to win. Why not? Absolutely. It's not being Homer. It's legit. We are a damn good football team. We're good up front on both sides. Elko's, I mean, it's not coach speak. Mike Elko's been saying it all week. We're playing against a hell of a football team this week. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
You know, one thing I like seeing some of these SEC guys, everybody has a podcast. I mean, anybody can have a podcast. The three of us could have a podcast if we wanted to. You know, so anybody can have a podcast. Any Nimrods can have one. One day these guys.
I didn't think me and my tight shirt would ever be in a podcast. So here I am. Right?
I know that. Listen, I didn't know we got everything for the women. Cheesecake for the guys.
Gio's got 100 of these. This is like old hat for Gio. But me and you, we're started now, baby.
So as I said, anybody can have a podcast. But these guys are talking about. I love it. They're saying, "Oh, you know, we know Mario always screws up." I just hope Mario's watching that and says, "Listen, you know what? F you. I'm going to be." So if I knew that Mario was going to be running the ball up the middle every play, like he did against Notre Dame, like he did against Florida, like he did against, I would be a lot more not as excited, but feeling that he's been.
I love the point you bring up, Brett, because I decided to take just a quick look at TikTok earlier this week. I really don't do TikTok much, but I took a look at it. Lo and behold, just clicking the For You page, I came across just some guy who talks about college football on TikTok, and he says, Mario Cristobal in Kyle Field? No chance in hell that he could win that game. And blah, blah. He was going like, he's the worst game day coach in the country, and Carson Beck throws too many interceptions. Just the usual suspect type of stuff that you'll continue to hear from people that won't look deeply into the game or just run with just what people throw out there rather than watching the tape. I think some of that stuff is overplayed. It's overused. Even shame on ESPN for this. I believe it was ESPN who had the graphic. They were showing the playoff quarterbacks that are in the field this year, and they showed that Beck had 11 interceptions when he actually only had 10. That Marcel Reed has this year.
Yeah. No, Beck the last 4 or 5 weeks has played arguably as good as football as any other quarterback in the nation. Am I wrong on that? I mean, he's been outstanding.
And against Florida State, which, you know, going back to that game in Florida State, a hostile crowd. I mean, where everyone was nervous about that game. He played the game of his. I mean, he was throwing those balls that they looked like Dan Marino or something like that, throwing those bombs. They were perfectly. Yeah. None of those guys had to slow down one bit.
Yeah, and this is a spot Saturday where I think his experience, 4 or 5 year guy, he's been in the SEC, he's been in these big stadiums. He's not going to be scared. I mean, for most players, it's pretty daunting to go in there and see 100, 102,000, 105,000 people, and it's going to be crazy. But I think this is a spot where that's why you brought him here. Because
exactly, he's got a chance to do something.
He's our leader. Special. It's a great spot, great opportunity for him to step up and just keep doing what he's doing. Honestly, he's playing great football. He's playing outstanding lately, so let's keep it up.
And no one's even talking. This is the first time. Because Fletcher, I don't think, was 100% healthy the last game or two. But I think he's healthy, and you've got Pringle. You've got the Fletcher Pringle with the other guys that may play too. But you've got Fletcher and Pringle, together, which will probably share carries. I assume Pringle's going to get a lot of carries. You got Pringle coming out of the backfield as another receiver, and you got Malachi, the Swiss Army knife. How might do
crazy.
that? The Swiss Army knife. I mean, you don't know if he's going to be lining up behind the center. You don't know if he's going to be throwing the ball from somewhere. I mean, I am so excited about this game. As long as we've got the new Mario, the Mario that was yelled at by somebody. Maybe Mando called them up, flexed a couple of times. And
after the SMU loss, we all did.
Exactly.
Everybody did. Fans, alumni. I mean, you could just tell them the play calling. It totally changed. That game, that loss changed the whole season. So you're talking about our offense. I'm anxious to see our defense against them because they've got skill position.
Yeah.
Concepcion, Craver, maybe Moss, but they also have a third receiver. 3 names. He's got 3 names. I'm sorry, but that's and the core. Again, it was on the road. It was at Texas, hostile environment. But yeah, they forced Reed to throw the ball. You saw he made mistakes. I mean, you can say that about any quarterback, sure, but that's what we're gonna have to do. Stop the run. You can say that every week, but don't fall behind because that crowd's gonna get even. If you could jump on them early, even a field goal, start off early, get a lead, quiet them down a little bit, make a stop, 4 downs. Slow the crowd down. I think we'll be fine. I think Miami. I'd be shocked if we got blown out. We're not going to get blown out.
Yeah, I know. I don't.
But honestly, a result either way would not surprise me. A close win or loss, because that's a really damn good team on the other side, and they got the home field. But I think I've been saying 27-23 all week, and I'm going to stick with that. I think we can do it. I think we're going to win it.
We've won 1 game. We've lost 1 game on the road, and we've lost 1 game at home. Okay, the game on the road against SMU, I think our guys were so cocky. I thought there's no way we're going to lose. We were what? Like we were 11, 14-point spread? What was it?
Oh, we had 10, 12 penalties, and
but what was the spread going into the game?
Oh, it was about 10, 11, between 10 and 13.
Everyone thought we're going to kill them and everything. This game, we're the underdogs. I mean, I don't want. We're the underdogs, and our guys are pissed. They're angry. They got a second season. Texas A&M didn't feel the pressure of almost being out. They didn't hear every single week, and every single week we were on the bubble. We won. Yeah. I mean, that was unlike any Cane team we've seen in years and years and years. We swept the floor outside of that first loss in December. We changed. We blew everybody out. Now we started slow against Stanford. We started slow in a couple, but we dominated. Those games were not even as close as the score was.
Somebody made a great point I was hearing or watching yesterday. Miami, he said Miami, he wasn't even a Miami guy. He said Miami's been in playoff mode for 4 weeks.
Great.
Yep.
And he said it, and I was like, wow, that really hit home on me. Like, he said Miami's dangerous because they got nothing to lose right now. I will say this, I'm pretty sure Mario and the staff has been, maybe Gio can speak on this, but I'm sure Miami's anxious to prove they don't want to go out there and lay an egg. That's the last thing you want to do because we were talking for weeks about getting in the playoff. If we get our doors blown off, it's going to look terrible. Like, oh, you see, Miami shouldn't have been in. That's what's going to happen. So I'm pretty sure that's been discussed, but
good defense.
I can't win.
Great defenses beat good offenses usually. Great.
I really want to. I really want to see
Super Bowl with Brad Johnson, for example. Not a great quarterback. Okay, and their defense won it. Yeah. When Baltimore won I think they had they're not Brad. Who had Brad Johnson?
Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer. They were defenses can win games. Okay, and
I'm really anxious to see our defense play against that. That's a good It's going to be fun. That's going to be this is a really fun matchup. It's a really good game. I can't wait to see it.
The Gators didn't have any rushing yards, correct, until the end of the game or so. SMU until overtime did not have any rushing yards in SMU.
I think Jeremiah Love had 33, and he's rooting for A&M, by the way.
Exactly. I love it.
What a joke! Like, didn't they beat you also? Like, really?
Exactly. Like, we're the bad guys. We're the bad guys. So we just got to show the world. That's why people think like, oh, Miami was lucky to get in.
I'm sure we'll discuss this. We'll break down the game more as we keep talking here. But I do want to say this. It's important because Mike Elko still has not announced, not the quarterback, the running back, the receiver. He hasn't announced who's kicking on Saturday.
Really?
A&M is 11 for 18 on field goals this year.
Yep.
Okay? They're a 3-point favorite. Watch the kicking game for A&M. That could be a problem because they've been flip-flopping. They've been having problems with the kicking game. So that is something definitely to watch.
I believe their mark for the entire season, they've been kicking at like 60 or 61%. It's been
I'm
bad.
telling you, it's a 3-point
Their
spread.
two weaknesses
Watch out.
is their two weaknesses. They don't create a lot of turnovers on defense. They're very minimalistic in that aspect, and they have a kicking problem.
Right. So that tells me, obviously, when they go to kick, they can obviously miss it, or when it's maybe they're in field goal range, they're going to feel compelled to be, you know what, we got to go for it. 4th and 5, 4th and 6, we have to go for it because we're not sure we're going to make it or not. So the kicking game for them is going to be a big question mark in this game.
New King God, welcome to the show. What's good? We are fantastic and excited in the second season. Giovanni Foster, is Damari really hurt? Welcome, Giovanni.
Yes, he is. It's lower extremity from what I understand.
That's a big injury for us?
Yes, considering how he played in the back half of the season, but it's key also that you get OJ Frederick back. Ethan O'Connor showed quite a bit throughout this year. They still have, oh my goodness, I forgot his name, Xavier Lucas. They still have some options back there.
Great. Nobles 52, welcome. D Nobles, how did Brown get injured? I didn't know he was banged up.
Yeah, just naturally happens along the way.
All right, New King God, what do you need to see in the first quarter to make you feel like we can win?
What do I need to see? What I need to see is, can Miami establish the run game? Because I know we talk about how exciting Miami's offense has been throughout November, but Texas A&M does have a problem in terms of stopping the run, and I think that is a path for Miami to win this game.
So we should be able to, if Duck was here, or he'll be here eventually probably, you say, can we establish the run? You're saying we can establish the run. We haven't been running well lately, let's face it. Even though we changed from going right up the middle, I mean, we've been slow. So if we can run for 200-300 yards, you think we got a good shot?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Miami would run for 300, but if they can get 200, they would definitely win that game.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I like that. Let's see. Juan Manuel, this is an opportunity for Miami and Mario to lay to rest a few big narratives with a win.
I agree.
100% correct. He can put a lot to rest this game. Giovanni, how did Upshaw get hurt?
Just practice.
Practice. Gio Kane, they're wearing the Stormtroopers?
Yes, they are. They're wearing the all-white Stormtroopers
yeah.
on the bottom of the kit. In terms of the socks and cleats, they're going with all black. So we shall see.
New King God, are you all going to do a post game? I mean, I'm happy to do a post game if we win. If we lose, I'm going to just be drinking.
If we win, I'll be in my daughter's recital. Be like, yo, you see that fucking game, bro?
Wanda, honey, you can go live from the daughter's recital. We're live from the daughter's recital. If Gio's available, I'll go live. I'll be at the store. I'll go live at the store.
Seriously,
and,
I see some of the comments. I get the PTSD a bit from the past, but forget the past, guys. We're here now. Okay,
exactly.
so
I like it.
We were probably, me and Gio and Brett included, we were pretty much dead in the water after SMU.
Mm-hmm.
They fought back and they're here. So now let's go.
I thought we were dead in the water when I texted you, Mando, and we were only up by 10. On who were we playing that game?
I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm the most.
And then he threw the touchdown at the end. I felt so much better when he launched it, and Malachi made that great Moss play.
The SMU game, I mean, it didn't feel like Syracuse lost last year, but it felt like pretty much we were almost done because it felt like we fell to 18. Somehow, somewhere we fought back. We got back in that 12. Thank goodness.
Amazing.
And I'm not gonna throw shots at JMU, and that's for another show. I'm tired of that shit already.
The last team,
the
last team that was able to come back from something as devastating as that, you got to go back to 2016, Mark Richt, when they won their first 4, lost their next 4, then they won their final 4 and the bowl game.
Exactly.
Oh, against West Virginia, right? West Virginia.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a great one. What was the Camping World, the Russell Athletic Bowl?
Camping World, yeah. They won.
New King God, with all these QBs in the portal, I expect us to win another 10 games next year. It's amazing. Everybody is just. I'm in the portal. What percentage of these quarterbacks or starters are in the portal, Gio?
There's definitely a good share. There's some guys that are going to have a big market. there's some guys that are not even officially in that are expected to be in. So I think it's a pretty decent portal class. Do I think there's a Cam Ward? Not right now. But I don't think you necessarily need a Cam Ward every year round. So
This is why I think you have to go after seniors or fifth year, last year players. Because you go after a guy before, you got him great. He goes somewhere else and you just throw everything. Go after the guy with the last year. Let Darion and Nichols, let them know that they've got a chance to be next year the next guy. You go for a guy, with 2 to 3 years eligibility. What are you telling the guys? If you plan, I want an experienced quarterback. We had an experienced quarterback in Cam Ward. We got an experienced quarterback in Carson Beck. But it is kind of interesting. When is it? The second that the portal starts?
yeah, when it officially starts, yeah.
It's interesting that all these guys are doing it. I mean, how many people have left bowl teams, or not bowl teams, but the final 12 teams? It's been a few.
Miami's only had 3 early departures. They could have another. We'll see. But for the most part, it's just 3 guys that left early. Other guys will stick around for the playoff run, however long it goes, and then there'll be some more departures after that. But for the most part, there's no key departures right now, like in terms of that would affect the team this weekend in a game or any future games. There's none right now, which is great situation to have.
But other teams have plenty of players as well. The other 11 teams are getting guys.
Yeah. The other 11 have lost some players too. It's just natural order, attrition, guys just getting churned out of the roster, and some guys looking for more playing time somewhere else. It's how it is.
Everybody wants to be part of a championship team. I don't know. When you're a kid, or you want to be part of the championship team. Now it's like, I don't want anything to do with the championship. It seems to be, it's more about me than team. Because it's pretty nice to be there when your team wins the championship. It's pretty nice to run on the field, be excited. It's like there's no feeling like it if anyone's ever won a championship. It's like it's the greatest feeling. You're running on the field. You're excited. You're part of a team.
I understand it for some of these kids because it's more so you're trying to get a jump before the wave of potential players on other playoff rosters end up hitting the portal after their playoff run is done with their team. So I get it. Some guys are trying to find their landing spot early and whatnot. And would it be ideal if they could stay for the playoff run and experience something like that? Absolutely. But I don't blame guys that are more so like upperclassmen that if they have talent and they could play at another program. I look at a perfect example I'll give right here. Ray Joseph. He was the first team in. It's been expected for a long time now. He took his red shirt this year. He's going to have 2 extra years remaining. If I have ever seen a player that the situation didn't work out for him here, but he is the ultimate team guy, Ray fits that definition. He was always with the guys on and off the field throughout the season, after the games and everything, never pouting or anything like that. It just didn't work out here, and that's fine. Sometimes that happens in life in various different situations. But I get it why he would go now, because his market could be really high. Like Ray can actually play. So he's the guy that I wouldn't be surprised if he finds success at his next program. It was never a talent issue, but reality is Malachi Tony ever really going to come off the field? Not really much, to be honest.
So what is the trouble of making the portal start February 2nd?
Well, a lot of that has to do with enrollment dates and whatnot for schools. So it's very difficult to push something like that towards February. I think the only other solution, like if people want things spaced out, just instead of just the winter period, how they made it now, we used to have the winter and the spring. Now it's just winter this year. Remove the winter, just leave it for spring. Guys will have the chance to play with their programs up till spring. If they don't like their situation, they move on, and other programs can look at other players who left their teams post-spring. That's really the only other solution.
That would seem like a better opportunity for these kids. Because then you never know. Next year they could be in the mix more in spring.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a great example of that. A guy like Marquise Lightfoot this year, he made a really big jump in terms of his development from one year to the next. All it takes is like one off season for a kid to potentially be ready to play significant snaps. They could have been a guy who was riding the bench most of the prior season, and then you're right in that rotation or practically starting the next year.
Wow. All right, New King God, I feel so good about this game. A&M offense needs big plays to really be good. I don't see them able to go on 9+ play drives and not make a mistake. Plus, the defense is dominant. Or physical like that. What do you think about that, Gio?
Yeah, A&M has a lot of splash plays in terms of the receivers. Between Bethel Roman, the young freshman, redshirt freshman receiver they have, Concepcion and Craver. Concepcion obviously a little more versatile than the others. Craver potentially one of the fastest players in the country. It's all about limiting those splash plays, and for example, A&M potentially not having Le'Veon Moss. That's a big hit. Yes, they have Reuben Owens, they have Amari Daniels, but Moss is their best back by far. You ask anyone around that A&M program, they will say that Moss is their best back on that roster right now. So if he's not a go, that can definitely affect things. But yeah, he's right on the money in terms of these splash plays. If Miami can limit that, Texas A&M really hasn't been that type of team to go on long drives. There's been a lot of splash plays throughout the year. If anything, they're kind of like a Miami light from 2024 in terms of offense.
Wow.
Not on the same tier or level, but something aching similar to that style.
Well, that is interesting. And so we said that about Oklahoma as well, the opposite of us.
Oklahoma is terrible on offense. It's dreadful.
24 hours away, guys. 24 hours away.
As long as we're tough on life tough on Howell, they don't have anyone else that can get to the QB unless they blitz. Is that correct?
That's going to be a great matchup. Howell against our O-line, that's going to be nice. I mean, there's great matchups across the board on both sides.
Yeah, I think Texas A&M has a very strong front in terms of their defensive line. I just don't think they've faced anything like Miami's offensive line. I think the closest thing they faced to that would be that Texas A&M front. I mean, that Texas Longhorn front they faced in the final week of the regular season. So I don't think they've seen anything like Miami's to this point. So it's definitely going to be quite the challenge. In terms of best pass rushers Miami's faced this year, Howell's very much up there, but Miami's had their fair share of top-tier guys they've gone against this year as well. So
where would their quarterback?
Miami with their O-line. I'm not betting against that offensive line.
Yeah, the reason a lot of people have said we can go the distance is we have an unbelievable offensive line and an unbelievable defensive line. You control the trenches, you can win any game. Blue Green Street, boots on the ground in College Station. Miami's staying in my hotel. They're ready to roll for Saturday. Awesome to hear. All right, we'll tell those players we're behind them. Let's see. Howard Stern, almost game day, folks. F and Aggie. All right. There you go, Mando. Okay, we won't. I don't know. You can touch that.
Confidence, baby. Let's go.
I love the confidence. You know, if something happens, we don't win. We didn't win because we didn't lose because we were confident. Okay, but on the other hand, if you've got the Texas A&M players all confident and they're bragging in front of the Miami guys,
they've been chirping.
Thankfully, us fans only have so much control.
They've been chirping a little bit this week, but I mean that's kids being kids. I don't put much stock into all that nonsense. Whatever, it is what it is.
And some of it is misinterpreted. I mean, they say things, but you never know what you're going to say. It could be the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Howard Stern, very simple, Gio. Mario needs to stay away from play calling. I agree 100%. He's got to stay away from play calling. He's got to stay away from calling timeouts. Basically, he's done his job already. He can stay away from the game. No, just kidding, Mario. Just a joke. Just a joke, Mando. We're all friends here. Carl, let's see. Carl Mia 305. Welcome back, Gio. Thoughts on the QB? We should look into Sorsby, Riola, Mastermaker, Levitt. Levitt is too risky, and Simmons over Bailey. We've seen Bailey versus good teams. He isn't an elevator. But if you think Al goes, is he number one? I can't probably pronounce some of that.
Yeah, so I'll say this much. I know some people have asked me in recent days, ever since the news about DJ Lagway hitting the portal, that if it's actually true, Miami's really linked to him. I asked about that, and the feedback I got was that Miami is really not all that interested in DJ Lagway, just to kind of shoot that one down. Brendan Sorsby, I've mentioned this for months now. In terms of him, same quarterback trainer as Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, so there's some connections there. I do have reason to believe that Miami has some legitimate interest in him. Dylan Raiola, in terms of him, yes, there's some family links there in terms of people in his family that have gone to Miami before in the past, speaking about the grandfather. We'll see. I haven't heard much on that front. Mestamaker, from what I understand, I don't think it would be Miami that he would end up there. Sam Levitt, Miami is interested there. The concerns are the injury, obviously. Having a Lisfranc injury, the foot injury, very similar injury that Mark Fletcher had going into his sophomore year. And there was plenty of question there if Fletcher would have been ready in time or whatnot. Every kid responds different to all different types of injuries. So especially come off a year that you did not have Carson Beck throughout the spring because of his injury the prior year. That creates questions, at least internally from an administration level of the football program. Do you want to go through that again? Bringing in a quarterback that you pay a significant amount of money, but is going to miss spring again. Again, it gives great reps to your young quarterbacks. You'll have Darion Coleman here in spring. Luke Nickel will be another year, a little more seasoned, get those key reps like that. But obviously not the most ideal situation to have that back-to-back years. And about Austin Simmons, I know many people have brought it up because I think it came from someone's podcast before or whatever. I highly doubt Miami would go in that direction in terms of Austin Simmons, no matter what the family says or whatever. Bottom line, at the end of the day, Miami would have to exhaust several options before they actually seriously take Austin Simmons as their QB1. And in terms of CJ Bailey, I think that's an option that would be on the table if he decides to enter officially. I do want to say, though, I think there has been some discourse from the beginning, though, that a lot of people assume that Sam Levitt would automatically be, the immediate take. From what I understand, Miami is doing their due diligence. They're doing their homework, and they will make a decision from there. They still have some time until things officially open up on January 2nd.
All right. Roland Vidal, let's fucking go. Let's effing go.
Tom Brady enters the comments. Here we go.
Exactly. 5. Tom Brady. There you go. Thanks for joining the show. Howard Stern, Mario. Howard Stern's don't hold back on us, please. Mario is the worst game coach in the world. Miami Garden Raves coach better. But none of those Miami Garden Raves other guys in the playoffs.
You'd think we're not in the playoffs right now. Jeez.
Exactly. Playoffs? I mean, listen, Mario is in the playoffs. He changed everything. He's letting his coordinators do it. It reminds me of a story here. The Marlins in 2003 had a shortstop named Alex Rodriguez. Anybody remember that? Or is it Alex Gonzalez?
No, Gonzalez.
I was not a big fan at all of Alex Gonzalez. But I was at game 2 or game 3 in the World Series, extra innings, center field. I'm sitting. and Gonzalez hits a shot for a home run to win it for the Marlins in extra innings. I said from that moment on, I will never badmouth this guy. He is a hero of mine for making that impact hit, that clutch hit to win the game, turn the world, because we were down at that time 2-1, I think. I think it was game 4.
Yes.
And he hit that home
4.
run. We would have been down 3-1 and the series could have been over. But as we know, Josh Beckett and the Marlins brought the team back. Brett had 120-1 on that the season, that Mando, by the way. But anyway, great bet. But before the season in Vegas, the point is that Mario has got us to the playoffs. Let's see what he can do here. I mean, I know Howard Stern is not a fan of Mario, but I could see him making this comment, Gio, if Mario won this national championship. Mario is still the worst coach in the world. All right. Giovanni, how you guys feel about O'Connor on Craver?
I think Keontae Scott will draw most of the matchup in terms of Casey Concepcion. Now, anything else from that point, I think you'll mostly see OJ and O'Connor drawing the matchup on Craver. And Xavier Lucas will probably draw the matchup with Bethel Roman. I think that's how you'll probably see it break down in the game. In terms of how to stop Craver, I do expect Coach Heatherman to kind of that similar concept they had early in the year to kind of prevent things over the top. They had the cornerbacks playing a little off man coverage. Now, when it comes to that, it's all going to be based on what A&M does in terms of their offensive game plan. Are they going to play the quick game or not? If they do, you need to start bringing the defensive backs up and much sooner. I think if I had a gripe about the Miami-Louisville game, it wasn't Miami's defense that lost that game. However, there was adjustments that could have been made earlier in terms of what Louisville was doing that Miami could have combated against.
All right. You got anything to add to that, Mando?
I think Gio pretty much nailed it, right?
My thoughts entirely. Let's see. Great question, Giovanni. Charles Dawson, Texas had to remind A&M who the big brother really is. They absolutely did. But Texas is sitting home, and Texas A&M is in the playoffs. So Texas A&M is still getting the last laugh there. Orange and green blood. Gio, what's good?
What's up, Orange and Green Blood? Thank you for stopping by.
All right, Giovanni, I really feel like that third wide receiver will have a big game like JoJo or Marion.
I'm still a believer in terms of JoJo Trader's talent. I think it's just more so him putting it all together. But if I had to put a bet on something, if you're looking for that third receiver to step up in this game, I'm going to say Keelan Marion with the way he's played in the back half of the season. I mean, it's two totally different guys. I think when we were bringing up the conversation mid-season, like when I said that, I felt that Miami's offense needed that third receiver to emerge, and eventually it became Keelan Marion. If he can continue on that trend, it would be perfect. I think he's going to have some of those opportunities this game, because I wouldn't be surprised if A&M tries to bracket Malachi Toney and make Miami try to win through the receivers on the outside and on the perimeter.
100% agree with you. If one thing I think is scary is how much we do. I mean, it's great to go to Malachi, but it seems he's definitely his safety valve. He looks for Malachi first. He looks for Malachi last, which is fine. But, there's some teams that could, press and try to beat them to the punch and get some interceptions. So if we want Malachi to do great, obviously, but if Marion wins the game or JoJo wins the game or CJ wins the game, I'm okay with that. It's a team game, and I'm sure Malachi is okay with that too. Mario is the Tua of live game coaching, Howard Stern. That's interesting. The Tua of live game coaching. Well, Tua has been benched, for those of you who've been hiding under a rock. And Quinn Ewers, the former Texas quarterback, is going to be quarterbacking the Dolphins. What do you think about Quinn Ewers, Gio?
I think his stock really crashed with his performance in the playoffs last year for the Longhorns. Do I think sometimes people, maybe even Longhorn fans, were a little too critical of him? Yeah, I think he could have benefited greatly from having one more year in college, but politics in Austin, Texas, kind of pushed him out the door. They wanted to get Arch up and running there, and Texas kind of got their medicine with that. Arch wasn't exactly ready this year.
I read something that top 10 high school quarterbacks ever, Quinn Ewers is probably the 5th or 6th best ever. Is that correct?
Yeah, he had a really good high school career.
So he was obviously he was going there. So he could have used. Would you compare him to Carson Beck?
Quinn Ewers? No.
You think Beck's better?
I think Beck's more accurate than Ewers is.
Yeah, I think Ewers was too accurate in the playoffs. I just didn't see too much. Now, I'm a Dolphin fan. I hope this guy's the next Dan Marino, of course, but I wasn't that high on him before. And Dolphin fans, let's not jump on the guy the first few incompletions. Very difficult, as Cam Ward's found out, to be a rookie in the NFL, even though Cam is coming along very well now, I think. Giovanni Foster, I would rather Moten next to Scoot versus Blay. What do you think?
So he's saying he would rather Ahmad Moten next to Justin Scott versus David Blay. Well, this is my personal opinion. I feel like that interior front of Miami's defensive line, I feel like they've been better ever since Justin Scott has been starting. Nothing against David Blay, because he was playing very solid early on in the year before he had his injury and missed some games. I just feel like there's been more splash plays just from that interior defensive line. So I think it's great timing that David Blay's back, because you still have another legitimate guy in Armando Blunt who can give you plenty reps there or on the outside as an edge. I think perfect timing for Miami in the playoffs to have all these defensive linemen healthy right now.
Absolutely. I mean, we are really stacked right now.
Yeah.
Howard Stern, Beck needs to earn his paycheck on Saturday. I think that's
well, you invest as much as you do in a quarterback like Carson Beck, and with veteran leadership and how many games he's played in, how many big games he's played in and won, you would hope that investment shows off in some type of way in the postseason.
I think so. I mean, listen, we think it's a successful year right now. We got to the playoffs. Mando said from the beginning, we need to get in the playoffs. We need to get in the playoffs. The minimum is the playoffs. Correct, Mando?
Yeah, especially the way they started the season.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, now we got to the playoffs. Is this a successful season if we lose this game close, or do we need to win one game to be a successful season?
I'll go before Mando on this one. I think it's a successful season if you show that you belong. Win or loss on Saturday, you absolutely have to show you belong. You cannot get blown out.
Right.
You can't look like a little child trying to fight against a grown adult out there. There has to be a competitive game. Now, if you win, I think it's gravy beyond there, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Mando?
No, I echo exactly what Gio's saying. Yeah, the last thing, when I mentioned earlier, the last thing you want is, after all of us hyping to get them in the playoff, you lose 34-13. We would get bashed by Notre Dame fans, UF fans. If it's in the media, it would be like, oh, this is why you guys wanted to get in? So, yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any shame whatsoever in losing a road playoff game by 5 or by 7, by 3. It is what it is. But to your question, is it a success or a failure? I mean, in the end, only one team's going to win it all, right? Just one, not 4. So, it'd be fine. I told you anything less than the playoffs would be a disappointment. So,
so far it's been a very positive season, and I think all three of us would agree that if we found out the score is 34-13, but we did not see the game, I think most of us would think Miami was on top. Correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. which is a pretty good feeling. Danny Boy Kane, good evening, gentlemen. The time is almost here. Time to get it done in College Station, gentlemen. Let's get the dub, and as usual, go Canes.
The great Danny Boy Kane.
Danny Boy Kane. I think Mando was supposed to be on his show. I don't know if he was. Mondo of Kane. I love the way Danny Boy Canes had said that. Mondo of the CanesWear podcast is going to be on. It was a big honor. So I don't know what happened, though. Hassan, the great Gio and Brett in the house. I would say the great Mando, but I believe his wife turned – perfect timing here. I would say the great Mando, but I believe his wife turned the lights on him, or is he upset about his Lakers? Mondo's light just went out. That is too perfect timing. I will have to read that to Mando if you didn't see it. Carl Miami, I'd take Simon before Bailey because Simon already got his degree, so he could focus 100% on football. And if the story about Ty for Alabama is a take, no question. You get that?
Yeah, so there's some discussion surrounding Alabama if they may move on from Ty Simpson, which is crazy considering the season he had and whatnot. Obviously, it kind of tapered off towards the end of the year. I'm going to pose this hypothetical. I'm not saying that this happens, but for example, let's say Ty Simpson does end up in the portal somehow, some way. And there's another caveat that comes to this that I think would be really interesting for Miami fans. If Miami were to take a Ty Simpson, if he ended up in the portal, if DeBoer wants to move on from him and go with a different quarterback, would Miami fans be open to taking Isaiah Horton back? Because one of the reasons why Isaiah Horton went to Alabama is because of Ty Simpson.
Really?
Yes.
I think Ty Simpson's a pretty good quarterback.
Again, it's just hypothetical. I'm not saying this happens, but
good call. I would have no problem with Horton coming back. But I already turned his jerseys into Kenny Calhoun jerseys, by the way, who was the legendary number 2.
I didn't expect a Kenny Calhoun reference tonight.
Kenny Calhoun, by the way, we are bringing
Yes.
back Kenny Calhoun line jerseys available at CanesWear. Pictures. Kenny Calhoun voted the number 1 play in Canes history. I know every single person that watches this podcast knows who Kenny Calhoun is, correct?
I'm sure they do.
So people come to the store that know, who are you again? And he's out there, Kenny, and he's saying, well, I have to say, well, Kenny made the greatest play in Canes history. If not for Kenny, who knows if we ever win a national championship?
Yeah.
You never know. Without that first domino falling, the rest may not fall.
Sure.
Danny Boy Kane, Mando was on the podcast earlier in the week. He did a good job. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was my oldest son actually called me inside for a second. But yeah, thank you, Danny. We actually talked with I believe it's Donna Conrad and she was great. Like, great breakdown of Texas A&M. And thanks for having me on, Danny. It was really good stuff.
Mondo's got his own business going on the side, podcast. But congratulations, Mando.
That show paid me a lot more than this one does, by the way.
They ever give you the information from Gio?
No, but in all seriousness, yeah, it was really good, and she was good, and Danny was great, and it was cool to hear the perspective of A&M and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens on Saturday.
Orange and green gold, the deep pass that they rely on takes a few seconds to develop, takes 2 to 3 seconds at least. Pass rush coming in 1 to 2 seconds.
Yeah. Like I've said before, if A&M wants some like remote chance type of game plan to counter what Miami does best, you watch that Louisville game. I think Louisville had the best game plan against Miami this year.
But is that their offense?
They could mix in some of that, but I don't know if they could sustain that through an entire game.
There's a lot of coaches, maybe Elko is one, and Texas A&M that feel like, hey, we'll play our game and we'll beat you. We hope that they have the
ego thing.
Yeah, the ego thing. We're going to play our game. We're not going to adjust to you. You better adjust to us. And a lot of coaches do that in all sports. You adjust to us. We're not adjusting to you. And since they are the higher seeded team, they are the supposedly better team, the favorite. They're at home, and they play in the vaunted SEC, where every game is a national championship every week. They may think, hey, Miami better beat us at our game. Because if they change their game to quick passes and they lose, they're going to say, their fans are going to say, why'd you change your game? We could have beat them easily.
Yeah.
Louisville had nothing to lose, even though they were, we were a heavy favorite. We were 17-point favorites, I think, in that game. Let's see. Asana, I spoke to the great Mando. He's there. Okay, awesome. Big toe. What's that?
Big Oats.
Big Goats. Let's fucking go. Arizona Wildcats. Bear down. All right. My bad. Wrong channel.
We got an Arizona fan stopping by.
I was trying to figure that out. That was too funny. But he stayed around for a while. Gio, will Mario can the narrative of being Mario Cristo fraud? Well, he can the narrative. I agree. I think he will.
Yeah, we got to see.
Up to him. If he's calling timeouts when we have a chance to win the game late, we'll be quite upset. Miami with the chance to win the game. If the game is almost over, no, Mario called a timeout. Let's see. Devon Mayfield. Miami got to remember Texas A&M have no championship history. Go in there, whip their ass, and coaches don't get in the way. Exactly. I agree 100%. When was the last time Texas A&M won a championship?
Long time ago.
They won a basketball championship, though, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Heart of Sports, great name. Welcome to the show. He's going back and forth with Carl Maya about the Ty Simpson, which is good. Danny Boy Kane, yes, go to CanesWear if you get a chance. Good people there. I haven't had a chance to go in person yet, but I'm hoping to go in the future. Well, thank you, Danny. We'll look forward to seeing you. Tell us, we'll lay out the red carpet, or the orange carpet, I should say. Devon Mayfield, 14, is a freshman from DE from California. He's the freshman DE, is that correct?
Yeah, Hayden Lowe. Yeah.
Hayden Lowe, yes. What about the photo of Hayden Lowe dressed at practice? Any news? BW.
Yeah, had spoken about that. He's been practicing, but we'll see if they let him give it a go.
All right. He's a freshman, Hayden Lowe? He was a 5-star, right? Or what is he?
Yeah, he was the 5-star from the most recent recruiting class. From the one Malachi and Bryce Fitzgerald came in.
Awesome. Call me a Georgia insider who dropped a warning. A big SEC team is going to lose a quarterback to the portal, and it won't just be. It just won't be one. Any idea what he's talking about? I'm guessing Alabama's Ty Simpson, but I don't know why. Who do you think's leaving, Gio? Is it Ty Simpson? I know you mentioned it a second ago.
Yeah, there's been some discussion around that.
Why would he leave?
I think it's a little crazy in itself because the playoffs first got to play itself out. Alabama's got a playoff game to play, so we got to see. But there's various reasons why things happen. It's like perfect example. Did Carson Beck not have his best season at Georgia last year? Yeah, that's true, and to some extent, but he wasn't horrible by any means either. But both sides, Beck decided to move on. Mm-hmm. That was basically that. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it happens.
Exactly. New King God, I see Brown maybe out at cornerback. If he doesn't play, does it mean Brantley may get more playing time? I think he may actually match up better in this game against the A&M wide receivers.
I don't think it would necessarily be Brantley. I think if there was any type of surprise to see someone in that rotation, I'm not saying this happens, but if Miami were to go deeper into the rotation, Jabari Antoine, I know they're super excited about him at corner, and he's had some moments this year when he has played.
Orange and green blood. This reminds me of the Mike Tyson comment, the famous comment, which I'll probably botch. When Bain comes across that line for the first time, fear will set in the O-line. They'll have to deal with that fear all night. And I agree. The Mike Tyson line is everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yep.
Which is so true. I've been using on X the line by Teddy Roosevelt, which was Teddy and the Rough Riders, where Teddy Roosevelt said, speak softly and carrying a big stick. They'll find a way. So, and Texas A&M has been loud and proud of Mario and the staff and everyone for being quiet and just like, we'll see. God bless you, boys. Danny Boy Kane reposted the stream. Thank you very much. Remember, follow FTSN, like FTSN. Bobby and the guys do a great job. CanesWear, the Spot Miami Fan Shop. Get all your Canes gear, your Panthers gear, your I don't want to say Dolphin gear, but yes, you can. And and of course your Florida Panthers back-to-back champions. And by the way, Inter Miami Championship stuff too. We now have 2 champions this year. Wouldn't it be great to add a third?
Absolutely.
In Miami, South Florida. Howard Stern, Keontae Scott is a beast, pure bone crusher. You think he should have been up for the Jim Thorpe Award? Or the Thorpe Award?
He absolutely should have. He got robbed, and mostly he got robbed because he was hurt.
Okay. Who won it? The guy from Texas Tech, right? Or he won the Butkus Award, the guy from Texas.
The guy who won the Jim Thorpe was, oh my goodness, wasn't it the kid from LSU, Mansour Delane? I think it was Delane.
Delane won. Okay. The kid from Texas Tech, 13, I think the linebacker was that it won the Butkus Award, right?
Yeah, Jacob Rodriguez. He's pretty good.
He's a beast. Is he a senior? He's a senior too, or no?
Yeah, I believe he's on his last year.
Love to see him come to the Dolphins. Texas A&M, you merely adopted the dark Kane. You merely adapted the dark. Kane was born in it.
Canes were born in it. Yep.
Yes. You better
That's
love
that Batman Bane saying.
There's Brett going ahead and butchering the line, but there, what do you got? Danny Boy Kane, us first, the world mentality. Absolutely. 1 milligram of epinephrine stops by the show. I think he's been on every single show so far.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you have a black playoff hat? I was on the website and didn't see any playoff hats. We ordered the black playoff hats, 400 of them to the matter. We sold some, and then Adidas told us, "Oh, sorry, we sold out of the black playoff hats." And I said, "How is that even possible? Since no one else has the Miami hat except for us." He says, "Because we have 4 teams in there this year." So Adidas has 4 teams in there: Indiana, Texas A&M, and who's the other? Is it Georgia? There are 4 teams in there this year. So unfortunately, since Miami was last to get in the playoffs, we got the hats last. So we do not have the black hat, unfortunately, and we did not get the white one either. I apologize that for milligram. We will have hats if they win the quarterfinals, though. Let's see. Howard Stern, when are we getting
Cubans runs the NCAA shirts, Heisman Trophy, ACC champ?
That's actually not a bad freaking idea. I can't see ACC, but that is not a bad idea. You think but are Miami fans going to be buying that?
I'm not sure. Well, I think the best way for that to be bought is if Miami were to win it all, and then you had Mendoza winning the Heisman. Then the Cuban connection's all there.
What's that Rodriguez, the guy that won the Butkus?
I'm not sure what his background is.
All right, we'll have to find that out. Let's see. Howard Stern, Bama will win tomorrow. I'm pretty confident that Bama's going to win that game also. I think they're going to win it. Let's turn over to our number 1 sports analyst and gambler, Mando.
Am I supremely confident they're going to win it? No, but I guess I give a slight lean to them. I don't think Alabama's great by any means. They can't run the ball, and Oklahoma's defense is really stout. I know their offense stinks, but this game smells like, man, I don't even want to say 2017. I think even less than that. Maybe like a 17-13. It just seems like a slugfest.
What is the total in that game?
I think 40, 41.
40, wow.
Really
these are the games that surprise you, though. You think there's going to be no scoring.
Exactly.
I mean, look at LSU, Oklahoma. The game is over. LSU has the game, and Oklahoma comes out of nowhere with a bomb.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got here the Rams and the Seahawks, so everybody expected defensive Thursday night low-scoring game. It's 30-22 right now. So you never know. But
who's winning that game? I don't have it on.
The Rams.
I've got the Rams and the Chargers in the Super Bowl, Mando. We'll discuss that later. I bet that at the beginning of the season. I like. Howard Stern. Let's see. The game will be won on a turnover battle. That's simple. Is he talking about our game or the Bama game? I think the Bama game.
Yeah, I think he might be talking about Alabama, Oklahoma. Yeah.
Canesman Laz. Is this like an appreciation of the Laz from the past? I don't know, but Canesman Laz. Bama will lose tomorrow. Okay, we may be able to set up our own little book here. We got Howard Stern betting on Bama. Canesman Laz betting against Bama. Look at that, Mando. You may be able to book the action 50-50 there. Danny Boy Kane. Mando and I talked about that in reference to Moss yesterday. All right, cool.
Yeah, we'll see if he plays. I mean, and like Gio said, is he going to be on a pitch count? We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen there, to be honest.
Pitch count. I like it.
Yeah.
Talking about Cranes baseball coming up. I'm excited about that.
Oh, yeah.
Miami 2 Hurricanes, 29. Welcome to the show. You guys are awesome. Hopefully, Dawson and Mario mix up the plays and utilize our tight ends. We haven't talked about either tight end. You said last game, Gio, that he was your guy, that was Lofton was your guy that's going to surprise everybody this game. Was it you or Mando that said that?
Yeah, I think the question was phrased from some people. Did I see anyone who could potentially help or elevate Miami's offense in the postseason? And I felt like that missing piece is to have one of those tight ends come through. I think Lofton was showing some signs of life towards the end of the season. You would hope that carries into the postseason, potentially becomes a legitimate target within that offense moving forward. I think it would do a lot for the offense going forward.
Raymond Rodriguez, great show, fellas. Thank you. No fitted hats question this week. So I know our Adidas was going to now. New Era was going to make all the hats for Adidas next year. Now that changed, so now Adidas is going to go back to making the hats. I don't know if now New Era is going to make hats for Adidas. It's very confusing. I apologize. So we still only have the fitted hat. We have like 7 different of the Adidas hats fitted. We do have 7 of those different ones that are really cool, from the camo to the black to the original. So, but right now, no New Era. We weren't able to get them. I thought we would, and so that's the answer on that one. I apologize for that, Raymond. Gio Kane 75. I believe Texas A&M is overrated. I don't believe they played a defense like ours.
Yeah, he's got a great point. I think maybe even the closest one, potentially South Carolina, but not even on the same level. No.
Correct. And they think Missouri was our type of defense. Missouri is a top 10 defense. We're ranked a little higher. They only allow 98 run yards a game. I think we allow 81.
Yeah.
But our defense seemed to be in a couple of those games against Syracuse. We gave over 200 yards. We didn't, for some reason, we played great. We shut out Syracuse to the last drive with the second team, but we didn't. But SMU, Florida, Notre Dame, we totally shut down their run game. So
you never know how a game is going to play out. I think even against VT, we gave up some rushing yards, big time rushing yards in that game.
Yeah.
Well, I've got 2 scores. I got 41-14 or 41-24 or 31-14. I think Miami by 17 this game. You guys had what? Mando, you had 27-23?
Yeah, 27-23.
And a nail biter to make us lose more here. Thank you very much. And Gio had a 14-point victory, right?
I have Miami 31, Texas A&M 20, and
nice.
I think it's one of those type of matchups where Miami basically, you're talking about a 24-20 game late into the fourth, and they find a way. Score one more touchdown to pull.
You're getting me excited here, Million. You're getting me excited.
I think we're putting them away. I really believe we're putting them away very quickly. I hate to say it, but I don't want to get too overconfident, people. You guys can yell at me after, not too loud, please. But just like Notre Dame, we came out so fast on them. We came out fast on Florida. We came out fast on FSU. Sure, we let every one of those teams back in the game, and we had to be biting our nails. So we're going to kick a field goal or what? But we came out strong. Our defense was dominant. I think that's the way it's going to be this game. But anything's possible. Let's see. Andy Silverman, my boy Andy, former national champion for the Miami Hurricane baseball team in the early 80s. If Miami wins, we beat Ohio State. I like it. Strong and confident.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I'd like to. I think Ohio State would be a tougher test than Texas A&M, but a lot of people think we could have the edge on Ohio State. But I just want to have the opportunity to play them, and then, of course, to beat them.
Yep.
So we'll see. How do you don't want to touch that game yet, Gio, but do you think we fare well? I'm sure there'll be a 7-point favorite Ohio State against us. How do you think
I'll
we
be
fare?
honest. I know Indiana beat Ohio State. I still try to wrap my mind around. I've watched that game 3 times now.
Really?
Ohio State really imploded. Like they should have won that game. Honestly,
They were inside the 10 twice, and they on 4th and 1 they got stopped twice. So
I still believe that Ohio State. I know some Miami fans are going to hate me for saying this, even though I think Miami's really good this year, especially when they're on their A game. However, I think Ohio State is the most dangerous team in the playoff. If Miami were to beat Ohio State, they'd run the table. They would absolutely run the table. I don't think there's any team that is as good as Ohio State this year.
I agree with you too. I think people are thinking. I think if Ohio State plays Indiana again in the championship, Ohio State, I would take them. I think Ohio State. The advantage we're going to have Ohio State if we play them is they're coming off a bye. I think if anyone's going to beat them, it's going to be next week. The team, and I think Texas A&M has no chance against Ohio State. Miami, I think, has the deep. Ohio State defense is phenomenal. They will shut down Texas A&M, but I think our defense is not that far behind. But most people would consider Ohio State a better defense than ours, correct, Gio?
Yeah, just by a smidge, yeah.
So we shall see, but I want the matchup, and I do think we can win as well. We're running the table, Andy, no doubt about it. Miami Hurricanes 2, Miami 2, 21, Hurricanes 29. We are stuck in 2001 mode, and that year was beyond special. We want that back. Heck, I'm in the 80s. I'm in the 80s when we dominated. 2001, we won. We won 2000. We should have won 2000. We should have won 2002. So for 3 years, we were dominating. We were as dominating as anybody. That is true. But in the 80s, from 83 to 93, we pretty much played in the national championship 7 times, I think.
Yeah.
So that 83 to 91 run was as impressive as anyone's ever had. So amazing. But yes, if anyone's old enough to remember that, I want to get back to that. But just give me one championship this year, and then I want another one next year. Devon Mayfield, we didn't play like shit against SMU. The coaches lose that game. Trader was on his way over 100 yards in the first quarter. One drop that led to an interception took him out. The game is crazy.
Yeah, there's just so many that went wrong that day. But
we played as bad of a game. The refs fucked us. Excuse the language.
Yeah, the refs definitely did not help either, especially those last 2 to 3 minutes in that game. However, my thing about that SMU game, I believe it's better that it happened to me. I bring up the question that initial offensive philosophy approach through the early season. I don't think that changes without losing to SMU.
Yep. It didn't change with losing to Louisville because he could blame Beck on that game, I think, the Louisville game. But after that, he had to take a lot of the blame from the big people in Miami that he couldn't have an excuse anymore. And they said, hey, we didn't bring you to lose. We paid you all this money. We give you the quarterback you want. We give you everything, and look what you get us. What do you say, Mando?
No, I agree totally. I've said it here for a couple of weeks now that I'm not into buying when people say, oh, it's a good thing they lost. Well, we ran the ball 40 times that game. That's not going to win a national championship these days. So, yeah, it ended up being a good thing in the long run.
And every one of those runs was into the line. It was gap A or B. So, I think you're right. That's the big thing. But, yeah, everything. And that being said, so if we get the call at the end of the game, the interference, we don't change at all as a team. We win that game. Okay, when the interference, they dropped the flag, and then they said, oh, what flag? We didn't see a flag. Anyway, so that game was a blessing. So if we win, I think we should print shirts. Thank you, SMU.
Yeah, there you go.
For changing Miami's philosophy.
Exactly. Thank you, SMU. I already know a few designs. Howard Stern, what do you guys think of Manny Navarro's article, especially the timing of Mary Crispell's game coaching, and if he's respected by the other coaches?
I haven't seen Manny's article yet, but I'll take a look when I get the chance.
Yeah, if he's not respected by other coaches, I, to be honest, couldn't care less. I'd rather him be respected by the fans, but more importantly than the fans, I want him to be respected by the players. Howard Stern, I was at the Florida State game. Amazing first half. Then Mr. Conservative, Mr. Scared to win. We should have put 50 on them that night. We threw the towel. We just threw the towel. Embarrassing. That's what I'm scared of. That's not happening anymore.
I don't think that will happen again.
I think I just saw a play in this game over here that I've never seen in my life. The game is 30-30 now after a punt return touchdown. So Seattle goes for a 2-point conversion, and I got the volume down, so I guess I'll hear it later. They deemed the pass to be backwards, so it went in the end zone of a tip, and Seattle recovered it for a 2-point conversion.
Wow!
It was 30-14 like 2 minutes ago. It's now 30-30.
My buddy Dave Magnuson is a diehard Ram fan since we were kids.
Well, he must be losing his mind right now because they were killing Seattle.
Lawrence McCutcheon and James Harris. If anybody remembers those guys. Anyone? Tell me who remembers those guys. Everybody got a plan till they got punched in the mouth. Go Canes. I said I would screw up the line. I never know if it's face or the mouth. Thank you, Giovanni. Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Go Canes. Howard Stern, Sam Levitt to Oregon. If Moore leaves, if he stays, he's coming to Miami. That's simple. Bank on it. Gio?
No. Gio's not buying it.
He says so. Gio says, "Are you serious, Howard Stern?"
There's still a lot at play right now. I'm gonna put it this way: there's no definite for sure the guy yet at quarterback, at least, and there's still anticipation that Moore will enter.
Guys, enough with the home field. That doesn't mean anything anymore. OU with no offense won at Tennessee and at Bama. Plus, it's a noon game. Jake Tapper, welcome to the show. I agree. I think part of me thinks that crowd's going to help us, actually. You said it at the beginning, Gio, and I've thought that. We're going to focus in. It's us against the world. And Miami always likes it like that. Garrett Gittleman, I think I know him. Go Canes. All right, Garrett, thanks for joining the show. Jake Tapper, Miami wins or lose, still successful season. I'm very optimistic about the future of the program trending up. 100% agree. A lot more confident than if we would have lost the game after SMU. No matter what, the way we finish, I think everybody is very confident right now.
Yeah, obviously,
except for Howard Stern.
To his point a few moments ago, anybody can win a road game, and not saying that the guys, the regular season is irrelevant, but when it's a playoff game and it's just like, I don't watch much regular season of NBA, but in the playoffs, when you're playing defense, every possession matters. And just like right now in the playoffs on Saturday, you'll see every snap matters. And I'm not saying I'm sure guys in week 6, it's a little different. Your body's banged up, but now it's win. You move on, lose, you're done. So every single snap is it's different now. It just is.
And to Gio's point earlier, I think someone said we've been in the playoffs for the last 4 weeks, or maybe you said it, Mando. We have been in the playoffs.
Yeah. We've been in the playoff mode. We've been in having to throw the ball with 30 seconds left.
Exactly. We've never been there.
13, because of the system they have in place. And teams are forced now to the eye test or make it look good and all that bullshit. But we've been, and I think that's why Miami's a popular underdog pick by a lot of pundits because of their their talent, their size, and
where do I get the odds? Miami by 14. That's what I want to know. What odds those are? Those 6-1? You think? Probably 4-1.
If we win by 14, I will be absolutely ecstatic. I would love that.
So to Howard Stern's point and others that Mario is not going to be as aggressive. When would you have ever seen Mario throwing the ball on with 10 seconds to go, long passes? He understood what needed to be done. Well, so he understood when somebody told him he was running the ball.
They've been, and you know what? I see in the comments people still going at him, but you got to give him credit. He adapted too.
Exactly.
I think that loss really woke him up and maybe people got in his face or ear or whatever.
Mhm.
But man, it is what it is. He had to adapt a little bit, and he did, to his credit. So we're here.
Chris Gons, go Canes, guys. Beat Texas A&M. Absolutely. Tamula White, LLC, he's got the new company starting, we told us last time, Gio. Nick Saban said Texas A&M pipes in artificial crowd noise through their speaker system.
If
No
that is
disagreement.
true, then I really don't know what to say. Considering they seat over 100,000 in Kyle Field.
I thought it was those guys that dress up and do the dance or whatever. I thought that's what made
Oh,
all
the
the
Aggie yell, yeah.
That is the funniest thing. Jake, it's a good season, but not great. It's year 4, and Mario still has not won anything. Howard is on Mario, obviously. So I don't think it's a great season. I think it's a very good season. But we got to the playoffs. I mean, and nowadays, the way the conference is, I'd much rather have being in the playoffs than being in the ACC championship. So, Howard, hopefully you can say, I want you to come on the show, the next show, and say, you know what, Mario, I was with Brett and everybody else that was so angry with him after SMU. Even later, it took me longer to prove it, but Mario won his first playoff game. You know what? I'm going to celebrate Mario this show instead of because I want that to be the case. If we get blown out, come with all your Mario comments. I'm fine with it. For the 125, I think we have a really good shot. Slow down reads, slow down the receivers, stay steady and run the ball through and around them. The rushing defense is bad on that side of the ball for A&M.
Yep. I mentioned that earlier. I think a path to victory is Miami establishing the run.
Whose defense would you compare them most to that we played?
Texas A&M?
Their rushing defense.
I think comparable to like Pittsburgh.
All right. We had a good running game against Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
We did. Pittsburgh was probably the best game we played all, top and bottom, offense and defense. So that would be great. Juan Manuel with the Miss Hudson mention. Miss Hudson and Big
The
Bill
weekly.
here at Chapel Hill. And are cold and bored in Carolina. What's hot and popping down in there in Miami? Miami excited. Those fans are a lot like Little Bill. Neither get up, get up, and excited easily. Okay. All right. Brown is always hurt, according to Howard Stern. He hasn't been hurt this year, has he?
No, not until up to this point.
All right. Will Hayden play? Gio said it's a possibility earlier, correct?
Yeah.
There's only 2 things that came from Texas. All right. I'll look for the horns. Okay. That was a movie line, wasn't it?
Duck is here.
All right. Duck is here, everybody. Welcome, Duck. So Brown and Upshaw have been ruled out. Is that official? 5 ranks.
No, not yet, at least. But a final injury report will be out on the day of the game.
Yeah, so they had to do an injury report on Wednesday, 2 days before or 3 days before the game.
Yeah.
All right. Keys to winning: 1, play aggressive and violent. Use Lofton and Bauman. Trick the defense, thinking it's for Malley. Beck doesn't have to play hero ball. Stop forcing into triple coverage. That's from Miami 21 Hurricanes, and I agree. All those things would be great. And I think if Lofton has a big game, I think we're going to be in really good shape. Chris Gons, I can't wait. I think our roster depth team overall is as good as anybody in the country. We compete with anybody. Let's go. I'm in agreement. I think Texas A&M is the best possible matchup we could have. I mean, I think in the rest of the way, I think the games only get tougher. Agree?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I'd rather play Texas A&M in Texas A&M than Ohio State on the road in a neutral field, I think. Even though I do believe we can beat Ohio State, but I'm more confident in this game. Romaine Johnson, welcome to the show. It's football. Injuries happens. We rotate the next man up. Absolutely. Juan Manuel, can Damari Brown play in 2 weeks? He would be a key versus Ohio State if we play them. Love to see Damari and Xavier Lucas duel versus Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, it brings up a great point there. Even the matchup with Carnell Tate, too. He's no easy cover either.
He's a lot smaller than Jeremiah Smith, though, right?
Yeah, but he's pretty explosive himself.
Chris Gons, will Keontae play? And Gio said probably, correct? Which is what he is probable. And I don't remember the last time I saw a guy that was probable that did not play in the game. For the win, is Dallin. What's that, Gio?
Not sure.
Okay.
Howard Stern mentioned Ray going to FIU or Duke. We'll see in terms of his next destination. He's had plenty of family that has gone to FIU, so it's not too far away either. Gets to stay home potentially. So we'll see. New King God, what happened with Tony Johnson and the players from Miami that entered the portal? Do they still practice with the team or removed from all team activities? So Tony Johnson's still with the team. In terms of guys that have entered the portal right now, like before the playoff game, there's no intentions there for them to stick around for the playoff run.
I think he was asking what happened with Tony Johnson. Is he going to play?
He's been banged up for some time.
Okay.
Howard Stern, you guys heard what Nick Saban said about Texas A&M fake crowd noise? Remember?
Yeah, I saw something about that.
818 Calicane, with Bobby Washington and Hayden Lowe not being on injury report, does that mean they could see the field? I think Bobby Washington, if there is any type of playing time for him, potentially special teams at this point. I think it's very late into the season to try to get him acclimated within the defense. However, when it comes to Hayden Lowe, we'll see. We shall see, because he was anticipated to have a pretty significant role this year with that defensive line rotation. Juan Manuel said, I disagree with Gio. The best O-line Texas A&M faced this year was Notre Dame. It's not even close. Both Texas and LSU were youthful and poor. But I think Texas had more talent up front, like just overall talent up front on the offensive and defensive lines compared to what Notre Dame had when they played A&M. It's just my opinion. Lenoris Murray, he put down Miami 48, Texas A&M 17. That's a bold prediction.
The best O-line Texas. Okay, sorry.
Ralph 3986, could the refs in this game play a factor against us like we see with the ACC refs? From what I understand, I believe it's Big 12 refs.
That's what I heard, yeah.
They probably hate us too, though.
Howard Stern put here, Francis Mauanoa with a good game will make 5 to 10 million. He's been dropping in a lot of boards to the end of the first round, maybe middle. He needs to get in the top 10 to decide to make the 50 million. Yeah, the playoffs can affect plenty of players' stocks, actually. Quinn Ewers was one that it greatly affected him. How things ended last year. He started tumbling down draft boards. But there's so much that happens with the pre-draft process and the interviews, the Wonderlic test that they take, and then also the combine and everything else, the meetings with teams. There's so much to still come.
Howard in Miami for the Dolphins.
Howard Stern, Mario is Bobby Bowden 2.0 until he didn't let his coordinators coach. He never once. Man, Howard Stern is
Howard Stern's on fire.
I think Mario's in Howard Stern's head.
James Kane 4001 said, "What the F are you smoking, Howard Stern? I know the guy you're pretending to be is a moron, but doesn't mean you have to copy him."
Oh my god.
Hassan Cheap said it was that idiot Nevin Shapiro that was talking to Simmons' father saying your son should come to Miami, and his dad said they are interested in Miami. Yeah, interested could be one thing, but on the other side of that coin is I don't expect Miami to go in that direction. I'll even put it this way. Austin Simmons was in the Coral Gables area about 2 weeks ago, and there's nothing that came of that at all. If Miami were to ever go in that direction, they would have to exhaust quite a few options.
Oh, we missed it.
What happened?
Oh, Rams missed a field goal with 2:07 to go. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Juan Manuel put, what was Dallas Wilson doing in Miami? So Dallas Wilson used to play a 7-on-7 in Miami with Raw Miami, the 7-on-7 program. Played with several other guys that play for Miami now in terms of Malachi Tony, Bryce Fitzgerald, very familiar names there. Sometimes some guys just come down to this area in general. I will share this, though, about Dallas Wilson. He hasn't officially entered for his name to be in the portal yet. There is a lot of deliberation that he may actually enter the portal. That's very true. I know LSU is a program that's interested as well. Miami would absolutely get involved if Dallas Wilson were to enter the transfer portal. And one thing not many people are aware of, but on signing day last year, early signing day, Miami was still very much involved in conversations with Dallas Wilson before he signed with Oregon, and then subsequently, a few days later, decided to flip that to Florida. Miami was very much in those discussions, so we'll see. If he does enter the portal, I do expect Miami to be a big player for him. And he also one Manuel also mentioned that it's interesting, and he also said no to Mestamaker, or he also called him Masturbator at quarterback. Could you imagine the jokes we would have to endure at Miami as Miami fans? Hey, is your QB blind or has hairy hands? Oh my god!
Oh my goodness.
Let's see. One of Texas A&M wide receivers, number 3, has a bum ankle that is not looking too good. You're talking about Bethel Roman. Yeah, one of their media members had shot some video this week about that. He's been a little hampered, so we'll see. Lord Bakington, hear ye. What's up, Canes game?
I love great name. Lord, that's a great name.
It really is.
Great name.
James Kane said David Blay likes to try timing his rush and has multiple offsides with contact. Yeah, he did have quite a few of those offsides early on in the season. I still think even if he doesn't start anymore with his return, he's still going to play significant snaps. But like I said earlier, my opinion, Justin Scott, when he's been paired with Ahmad Moten and in this back half of the season, I feel like the interior of the defensive line has been more impactful. Just my opinion. I think there's been more splash plays. Hassan, damn, we're in the playoffs, and we have fans like Howard Stern hating on Mario. If he doesn't like it, go become an FS Poor Gator fan. We don't need this damn voodoo energy. Lord Bakington mentioned, what's the word on Damari Health? We spoke about that earlier. Howard Stern. Let's hope not. But if Miami gets blown out and looks bad, unfortunately, that's a red flag to the program. Shows we can't compete, and we are in year 4 going to year 5. I agree with him. I think at minimum, Miami has to show that they belong. Whether it's a win or loss, you have to show that you belong, that you got into the playoff for a reason.
Yep,
because you don't want the narratives that if Miami gets blown out, you don't want the narratives of, oh, they shouldn't have been there. They didn't deserve that, and everything else that comes with it.
That would be terrible. Absolutely.
That's not happening. Teams with a better defensive line, which we have, and a better offensive line, which we have, are not getting blown out. I'm sorry.
Lord Bakington said, our trenches match up well across the board. I agree. Juan Manuel, it is very evident that both Justin Scott and Moten have another level. They were both dominant versus Virginia Tech and Pitt. With Scott, his reps matter. JoJo Trader has a chance to rebirth as a star. Yeah, like I said earlier, I don't think it's so much a talent problem with JoJo Trader. It's more so just putting it all together. James Kane, Miami has made the playoffs. That is progression. 2 10-win seasons in a row itself is a plus. I agree with all points there. Just you can't look like you don't belong in this game. I think that's the biggest thing now. Lord Bakington said, what's the likelihood we run the table? I think for Miami to run the table, if they were to advance through this game, and if they were to beat Ohio State, I think they would immediately shoot up as the odds-on favorite of all teams to win it all. If
right
they
now,
were
we're 20 to 1.
State.
We're 20 to 1, which is not that bad. I mean,
no, it's not bad.
2 weeks ago, we were 150 to 1.
Yep.
And people didn't think we'd make the playoffs. If you didn't get that bet in, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I think we're in good shape this game. But that being said, it's just our lines. This is a team different than any we've ever had in the last 20 years.
Yeah. Slug Bruce, A&M defense is not that big. That is actually pretty true. They're not very, very big in terms of their linebackers, the defensive line. They do have a lot of speed on defense, but not very big, though. That is actually a true statement. James Kane, A&M played multiple teams with fired coaches. Let that sink in personally. Think they are overrated. I do think it's possible they're a little overrated, but I do think very much so that this is still going to be a game. I don't think this is going to be a walk in the park.
Well, look at this, Gio. The two teams that beat Notre Dame, we dominated Notre Dame's offense. I mean, they had a couple. They made it closer, but we dominated them. And Texas A&M, Notre Dame went through like Swiss cheese, didn't they?
Yeah, it was like pretty much a shooting, 41-40.
So in that respect, I may be totally crazy, but I just don't see Texas A&M being able to stay on the field. I know everyone's going to yell at me and scream at me, and I will say I'm 100% wrong. I really believe Miami is going to dominate them, but that doesn't mean we dominate. It doesn't mean we're going to win the game big, even though I think we will. We dominated Notre Dame. We dominated Florida State. We dominated Florida. We did beat them well, but this is a different Miami team. I don't think we're going to be sitting on it. So we're going to get out big, and we're going to run the table on them. And I think that's going to help us. So we got blown out next year in the playoff thing. People may say, well, look at Miami. We put them in last year, and they lost. We shouldn't, but if we win this game big, it makes us, solidifies up as a real playoff contender, not just this year, but every year we're close. They can no longer say, what has Miami done? They say, look, we put them in the playoffs, and they won by 40. I think that would be a long way for us in Mario, because they all think that, all those coaches, all those different commentators, Mario is going to figure out a way to blow it. If Mario can get that off his back, get Howard Stern and everyone else off his back, you know what? I think Miami's going to be considered highly as a program while Mario's there.
Yeah.
Racket, Mario.
Canes Cats Heat shared 7 hours until I'm on a flight to Aggie Land.
Nice.
Yeah. He's a big-time supporter for many years. George Blanco, the Old Dominion QB is interesting. Yes, I've seen his name pop up. Lord Bakington, did y'all see John Gruden's take on our game? I have not, actually.
I have. I loved it. Him and the other guy both had the take. And the other guys, I forgot who the other guy on the podcast is, but both of them thought the ACC guy said Miami's going to blow them out. And John Gruden thought Miami is definitely the team right now as well. He thinks we're the team to go all the way.
Wow. Yeah. Canes on top. Let's go. Thank you for stopping by, Canes on top. Juan Manuel, both JoJo Trader and Elijah Lofton, with 3 weeks of distance, reflection, and healing, have a shot in the playoffs to become what was expected. Neither is on A&M's radar, but both can have big games. I could agree with that assessment to an extent. I think more so I'm leaning on the side of like Lofton with how his production started to pick up a little more at the end of the season. We'll see. Lord Bakington said, I agree.
Rewind. Go back 6 weeks, 7 weeks. JoJo wasn't touching the ball. He came in one play against somebody, and I remember then he was taken out and did another game. All the talk was JoJo is definitely transferring. Now, fast forward to where we are. He's had some opportunities. He's still here. He's going to play with the team, obviously. I mean, we're not going to say someone is. Is there a possibility, a good possibility he's going to be on our team next year?
We'll see. That's still up for some discussion there. We'll see. Still a little too early to say.
Too early, but let's just hope he has a game like he had the bowl game last year in the playoffs.
Yeah. Would definitely be great timing. Let's see. James Kane said here, 1938 was the last Texas A&M national championship. Woof. That's
30. Wow.
1938. Much further back than Notre Dame.
Oh, wow, that is a long time ago.
Canes on top put he put it down a super chat, $1.99. Thank you for the support on the channel. Thank you, Canes on top.
Thank you very much, Canes on top.
Howard Stern, TVD to the portal.
Again?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not looking
Hey,
at
can
the
you
ticker here
see
at the names popping in, but
Canes on Top also mentioned something about tickets. Did he get to that one yet, or am I ahead of you?
So if one person in the comment
yeah, there we go.
puts on their 2026 TVD UM quarterback, they're banned from the show.
Is
Canes
he
on
really in the portal? It just goes to show. Once you're in the portal, it's more likely you're going to go to the portal more
Yeah,
than
but
once.
he's been bouncing around everywhere. Sheesh.
Yeah.
But he was with SMU, his guy.
Wisconsin, wasn't he? Wisconsin, SMU? Like, my goodness.
That's next to maybe Duke. Manny's the one that got him, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen anything of TVD in the portal right now. I don't know.
I haven't seen that either, unless I just broke right now.
Canes on Top shared here. I want to bless someone. I have 2 tickets for $200 for Canes fam.
What?
Wow.
Now, that's a steal right there.
That's absolutely a steal.
Canes on Top.
George Blanco said, hit the like button. Yes, absolutely. Hit the like button.
Hit the like button. Definitely. Bobby and the team at FTSN do a great job. Hit the like button, share, repost, tell all your friends. Want to be the biggest and best. We did this on a lark, but Mando told me, Brett, when I get involved with something, I want it to be the best. He texted me and he said, Brett, we're going to make this the biggest, baddest, best podcast in America. And I said, really, Mando? He said, yes, Brett, with you and Gio staring and me riding shotgun, we got it made, baby.
Yeah, actually, the way the conversation went was me and Brett were like, me and you will handle all the recruiting, Gio will do the rest,
right? Exactly.
There you go.
Let's see. George Blanco said, hit the like button. All right. Juan Manuel said, Dawson should have success on Saturday. Containing Howell and running at him is a key, and taking advantage of all the attention Texas A&M will focus on Malachi, that they may forget Beck, Pringle, and rest of guys. I agree. I mentioned that earlier, that I think that A&M is going to try to bracket Malachi, and Miami's going to need their other guys to make plays happen on the field to get this one done. 818 Cali Kane said Caleb Downs won the Thorpe. Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew Mansour Delane was one of the finalists. I thought Delane was the one who won. He had a really good year for LSU. But Downs definitely worthy of it himself. That kid is out of this world as a safety prospect. I'm sure you've watched plenty of him too, Mando.
Oh, no, absolutely. He is monster. There's no denying that for sure, buddy.
1 milligram of epinephrine said, hell yes, I've been on every show. Thank you for always stopping by and supporting.
He has. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's see. 818 Cali Kane. Sorry, Brett. Broncos versus Rams in the Super Bowl. Broncos better than Chargers.
Listen, that's definitely a possibility. Just shows what a second-year quarterback can do. Bo Nix.
James Canes shared, Bama will lose. I got Bama beating Oklahoma. I think it was really fluky how Oklahoma beat them late in the season. Yeah. I kind of made Miami sweat a little more for a playoff spot too. I think if Alabama won that, it wouldn't have been much of a nail biter. But if I'm looking at a team like a Power 4 team that's in the playoff field that I think doesn't really belong with the others, I think it's Oklahoma. That offense is downright terrible. Bad. Catch one of their games. You're talking. Okay, maybe this is a little exaggeration here, but I was about to say like Kirby Freeman, Miami type of bad.
Oh my goodness!
I'll never forget though, Mando. There was a game that Kirby Freeman played. I think it was back in 2007 or 2008. He went 1 for 14 in a game, right? And threw 3 picks. And his one completion was like a 70-yard pass to Dominic Jenkins. I never forget that game. That was, I mean, I don't know how much crazier it gets than that, going 1 for 14. But one completion is the touchdown.
Wild.
Yeah. Dark times at those times. I do not. Hassan shared here. Other than watching the Canes play, it is listening to Gio, Brett, and Mando. You guys do a wonderful job and very informative. Thank you.
Appreciate I appreciate that, except when you
on
mock.
every show also. Sorry, Mando, go on.
No, I was going to say thank you, Hassan, except when you go crazy about my lights being turned off by the wife. But thank you.
The only time Hassan was mad at me when we were beating up on Mario after that SMU game. So he listened to Hassan, so that's all that counted. Mario did. Or maybe it was one of the Moss brothers that told him instead.
Canes Cats Heat shared. Man, I am ready for the Aggies.
Yeah,
I know he definitely is, and he's definitely.
Usually, I can't wait for Friday, but I want tomorrow to fly by. I don't care about Friday. Let's get to Saturday morning, man. Let's go already.
Absolutely.
James Kane has Miami 31-17 over A&M.
Okay.
Martin Dubé from the other side of the world. He shared here 41-7 Miami on Saturday. That's bold.
Very bold.
I 41-7. I'm with you at 41-7. No, 41-24 or 31. But that is bold. But I think it's very possible. I think Miami. I think we should do a CanesWear on X. Is pretty much everybody here? You think on X, Gio?
What happened?
You think most of these people here are on X?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. Some people from X, some YouTube, some on different other channels.
All right, so I think So I'm gonna do I'm gonna do it on X Play. I'll do a gift card for the closest to the score. What are we gonna do? For this is one close to the score. Canes win. We're gonna do $200 closest to the score or exact score. Actually, we're gonna do getting the exact score. If however many people get it the same score, they'll just split the whole prize. Okay, so it's $200. It's gonna be. If two people get it, it's $100 each. If 4 people get it, it's $50 each. All right. So just hope you pick a score that nobody else has. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to put it on X tomorrow, guys. So make sure you follow us on X and make sure you go ahead and please download our app. We're working on quizzes and other things. We don't have it down yet. The app is good, but we are going to have special promotions just on that app as well. On the CanesWear.com app. So tomorrow I'm going to do a contest, $200, and person who guesses the score. All right.
Let's see, one Manuel. Wow, this is a wild comment. Miss Hudson and Big Bill up here in Chapel Hill want to let you know 2 very good Carolina players hit the portal, linebacker and defensive end. I know there's some interest in the linebacker in terms of some early interest. By the way, Miss Hudson and Big Bill have a half price sale on OnlyFans toys.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
George Blanco, if we start fast, we won't let up this time. I agree. If Miami races out to a big lead, I don't think they will revert into a shell like they've done before earlier on this season. I think that mindset has definitely changed. Howard Stern, Gio, I want to see the dream matchup, Miami versus Jeremiah Smith. Please, God, let that game happen. And, of course, also the revenge game. I mean, there will be plenty of storylines within that in itself. But, I think many Miami fans would be itching for that.
Totally.
Howard Stern said Brian Hartline lost that game for Ohio State. He's talking about the Ohio State-Indiana game. Yep. He's a terrible offensive coordinator. That's debatable. It depends. There's differing opinions on that, but he's at USF now. We'll see what he does with the Bulls.
Is he not with them? But he is coaching during the.
Yes, he is coaching during the playoff. From what I understand. So Howard Stern shared Miami versus Ohio State in a neutral site in Dallas. I got Miami all day. They will knock that quarterback out of the game. Oh,
look at this. Howard Stern spinning.
New King God, pretend you're Ohio State. Who would you rather win this game?
Texas A&M.
Yeah, I just think Miami would be very pissed off going into a game with Ohio State. Just everything that's involved with it.
I think Ohio State will have their way with Texas A&M. I think Ohio State's a similar team to us.
I just still stand on what I said, though, that I think Ohio State's the most dangerous team still in the playoffs. James Kane, 4001. Refs cost us SMU game. I agree with that assessment. SMU should have had multiple PIs, cost us against them, called blatant ones. I agree.
Absolutely.
However, there were still opportunities there to win that game despite the penalties. Moore is going to the NFL, if anywhere. It's talking about Dante Moore from Oregon. Yeah. There's a good chance he could be declaring. Actually, his stock has been rising a lot lately. Martin Dubé. Gio, do we get Dallas Wilson or Vernell Brown if they leave Florida? I think the more likely of those two would be Dallas Wilson if he were to officially leave. I think Miami would have a much better shot with him than Brown. Howard Stern, what's the best strip club in College Station to see Wilder Beach Woman and Inbred? I heard that's all they have in College Station.
That's funny.
LD, I can't get the username right here, but what happened to Jordan Lyle? He's still on the team. Jordan Lyle had mostly been dealing with a high ankle sprain throughout this season. From what I was told, it didn't exactly work out this year. He had a really good offseason, just preparation and everything going into the year. He looked really good in the offseason. Most people we talked to around the program thought he could have been Miami's best back coming into this season, but it just hasn't really materialized. He's had a slump year. I don't want him to leave Miami, and at least from what I know at this point, he hasn't given that inclination yet. But again, would be more ideal to keep him on the roster. I think sometimes fans have short-term memory and forget how good he was the year prior.
Well, I think we could lose. You think Brown is going to transfer again? I think he will.
Shamar Brown?
Yeah. I mean, once you transfer. And I don't think if Pringle's the guy and if Fletcher comes back, I don't see why he'd come back. He's going to have limited opportunity. But if Fletcher and Brown leave, then I think it'd be stupid for. I mean, Lyle knows his career best, but it may not be the best thing for him to leave. It should just be him and Pringle as the 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And Brown, and if Lyle's healthy, I mean, he can be as good as anybody. He's special. I spoke to people that coached him in Pee Wee and said just he has that it factor.
Yeah. James Kane, 4001. A lot of teams pump crowd noise in. I've heard of that. And Mario, it seems, can never do enough to some fans. It's always some be itching and moaning. Jorge Blanco, Miami will win.
You know it, Jorge.
Howard Stern, I got you. I will wear a I Love Mario Cristobal shirt with the A gap run in the middle of.
Here you go. Now we're talking, Howard Stern. Now we're talking.
James Kane said UF is best defense Miami played. Florida's defense was actually pretty good.
Yes, they were.
I'll give them.
Good, and we dominated them. And good point. Excellent point.
Howard Stern, I will say I love Mario Cristobal if we beat Ohio State, and I will change my picture on my email. Jorge Blanco said the guys in white are called yellers for A&M. Yeah, the Aggie yell. Yeah. I'm sure they're going to have plenty of Aggie yell festivities the night before, which will be tomorrow, Friday. Very much similar to what they did a couple of years back. Hey, H. Canes 1005. I think Bama or Oklahoma would be a bit better to play than Texas A&M. But beat who is in front of you. I agree. I think.
I agree too.
I would love if Miami drawed the matchup with Oklahoma. I
wanted Oklahoma badly. My thought was of all the teams we could play, which are the 4 teams, which are the teams we could play, are when I said Texas A&M is the easiest. Ohio State would be next. Georgia possibly the 3rd team, then Indiana, Oregon, or Texas Tech, right? In the championship. So, yeah, I think Indiana, Alabama. There is that mystique about Alabama, though, that playing in Bama. I'd rather play in Texas A&M than Bama, I think, for some reason. Bama always finds a way to get the calls, gets the wins, and everything like that.
I would have loved a Miami-Oklahoma matchup.
Oh, without a doubt.
I think, I'm going to be honest, I think Miami could have blown out Oklahoma.
I thought we'd move to 8 and Oklahoma will move to 9 was really what I thought was a possibility. Oklahoma should have never been an 8, especially once you saw how bad Alabama was. They should have dropped. See, they couldn't drop Bama, but they could have dropped Oklahoma a little bit. They could have squeezed Miami up, dropped Oklahoma, but I know they didn't want to drop Bama because they didn't want to mess up with the SEC game. Because Lord forbid they can do it. I mean, they really moved BYU either. Well, they did move by BYU under Miami, and they were ahead of Miami. So technically, they did move BYU, but they couldn't move Alabama, which is very strange.
Let's see. Pinellas Kane, thank you for stopping by. Texas A&M played a weak schedule. Yeah, their schedule was a little questionable in terms of how you look at it after the season was over with. 818 Cali Kane, out of all the teams, Miami has the best storylines on our side of the bracket. And if Oregon and Miami go to the finals, man, big money storylines. Absolutely agree.
I would love to play Oregon in the finals.
H. Kane shared Ray, another SMU Miami steal. Not sure. I haven't heard which teams are really linked with Ray to this point.
I think he's going to go there, but
James Kane said Wilson almost picked Miami. Yeah, he came very close to doing that. Gilbert Reyes, what's up, Canes fan? Thank you for stopping by, Gilbert.
Gilbert just finished work, probably.
George Blanco, I want to see a monster game from Josh Moore.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Would be nice, yes.
That USF game, he's had some plays, but I think he's got, I think, in my opinion, he's got to be a little more aggressive out there, but what do I know? But I think he's, I think just a few tweaks and this kid's could be a superstar.
Yep.
I mean, it's very difficult to match. No, there's not that many Malachi Tonys out there. There's not that many Amons, guys sometimes take a year or 2 or 3 years to get going.
Yeah, it's different developmental stages.
There's injuries, there's everything. You never know. You get nicked up, nobody even knows you're injured. But I mean, a tough guy plays through the injuries, doesn't tell anybody, but he's just not performing.
Canes Jones reposted the stream. Thank you for always stopping by and showing support, Canes Jones.
Does he have his thing tomorrow?
Yes, he does, actually, and I'm planning to stop by there for a bit.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
So on X, Canes Jones, anybody can jump in, right?
Yes.
Yeah, great program. Listen up. He's on tomorrow. Just look for your what is it called again? Not stream. What do we call it on Twitter again or X?
The Spaces.
The Spaces, yes. So I'll try to jump on there too.
Gilbert Reyes shared, just got up from a coma. What did I miss?
Well, we're going to blow out Texas A&M according to some of the hosts here. I won't mention any names.
818 Cali Kane said, don't forget, even though Mario loses dumb games, he has a very good track record of his team showing up in big-time games, period. That is absolutely true, and I brought that up
100%.
Earlier.
That's a great point.
Stands.
And he beat Ohio State a few years ago when he was with Oregon.
Yep. Kabiche, we got a chance, everyone. Let's go, Canes. Throw them you up. Yes.
There we go. Let's go, Canes, baby.
Mullet TV, the duck. Am I blocked? No, you are not blocked. I'm not sure if you've been sending messages in your duck.
Yeah, we didn't see it, but he's now mullet. No, we're definitely not blocked. But we had that happen to Cliff. Some people thought you're definitely not blocked.
James Kane shared here. What about the TCU QB, Gio? You're talking about Josh Hoover. I used to be really big on Josh Hoover. Didn't like so much his back half of this season, the tape. I wasn't too keen about it, but I think he's a solid quarterback, though. Soulful Spirit 09. I hope we don't become the favorite after beating Ohio State. I like being the underdog, even though we're really the true favorite. Yeah, I mean, just don't put 2 feet, 2 steps ahead right now. Just one game at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Lorraine shared, hi, guys. We need Carson Beck to have the game of his life. He has all the tools. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Lorraine,
I think he'll be prepared.
I think so, too. I think he's going to be great. I think, I just, if he does throw, he does have a bad pass. I just hope like a lot of quarterbacks, if they throw one, they throw 2. If he does throw one, I just hope he just, like a goldfish, like they used to say on, what was the TED show? To have a goldfish, the goldfish, you got to forget what happened to you. The smallest minds, the smallest memories.
Short-term memory. Let's see. Hassan Gio, I want Miami to get Brendan Sorsby as the quarterback in the portal, but I have a feeling it's going to be CJ Bailey. Just got to let things play out. It's still a little too early. Pinellas Kane 23. I think Howard Stern doesn't like Mario. Mario brings his team back from being shit to the playoffs this soon. Can't please everyone. Yeah, no, I think people forget how Miami was as a program for pretty close to 20 years. It wasn't exactly the same anymore.
We won 10 wins one time in the last 20 years, and that was that was Mark Richt. And then not only did we win 10 wins, but then we lost the last game to Pittsburgh. We lost the ACC championship, and then we lost to Wisconsin. Mario is first time since 2001, 2002 that we've won 10 games and won our last 4 of the season. Pretty remarkable.
Vegas Kane shared here. I see your raise of Kirby Freeman. Kyle Wright. Yeah, I mean, Kyle Wright had some tough moments at Miami too, but I don't think anything will ever top Kirby Freeman 1 for 14 against NC State with 3 picks, and his only one completion was a bomb to Darnell Jenkins. That was really impressive quarterback play. I think it's very. I'm still mind boggled how anyone could go 1 for 14
exactly in college, no less.
Yeah. Kane's Cats Heat said, "Good morning to you, Martin Dubé." Yes, he's chatting with us from across the world. Kane's 1005. Damn it! I don't usually do predictions because it is bad luck, but a gift card. Faith Family Football 1, 2, 3. Canes on top. I am interested in those.
Got a match.
Assuming for the
Canes on top. Faith Family Football is. I'm assuming the A&M game too. A&M game also. I was guessing that as well.
Gilbert Reyes shared. I don't care if we win by 1. I want Ohio State for my birthday. Gilbert Reyes said Carson.
His birthday is New Year's Eve. That's awesome.
Yep.
Carson Beck for the win, baby.
James Kane 4001 said Vernell Brown is a UF legacy. Yes, correct. Gilbert Reyes shared. I hope JoJo gets an opportunity. I think he'll get plenty of opportunities within rotation in that game Saturday. Miami have 3 home games if it has been.
If we would have been 9th, we would have 3 home games. Is that what he means? Yeah. It'd be the championship, the Orange Bowl. No, we would have been.
Yeah. George Blanco, Ohio State weakness is their QB. It showed against Indiana. He lacks mobility. Yeah, I mean, Julian Sands not the most mobile quarterback, but I still think he's a pretty good quarterback.
And he's a redshirt freshman, isn't he?
Yep.
So they are going against the grain. If they win the national championship there with a redshirt freshman, what is it telling every one of these teams that has to go out and get a transfer quarterback?
Oh, wait, say that again?
If Ohio State wins the national championship with a redshirt freshman, what is it telling all these teams they have to go out and get a transfer quarterback in the portal, established quarterback, and not go with a homegrown player?
I think it would be a little bit of an anomaly in this current landscape in college football, but I mean, it would definitely change some of the philosophies for quite a few teams in terms of what they're looking for at the quarterback position.
Because sometimes the grass is greener. We've been lucky with the 2 quarterbacks we've got. Obviously, I think Mario has been perfect. I mean, obviously Beck obviously did not do, but you know what? He's won a couple of games also by playing well. So the Notre Dame game for one made those passes, those 2 touchdowns. The Florida State game, it was phenomenal. So, but I think you got to say that they've been both acquisitions in the portal. Being Ward and Beck have been perfect so far.
Yeah,
not every team can you say that about.
Let's see. 818 Cali Kane shared. Gio and Brett, give us 3 keys to the game for Miami to pull the upset. I'll say this. Win the turnover battle, number 1. Well, not number 1. I'll put that number 3. Number 2. If you can. No, you know what? No. Number 3, I'm going to go win the turnover battle. Number 2, establish the run. Number 1, just make sure you have the better special teams in that game, because I do think Texas A&M has a real kicking problem. I'd say those 3.
I'm going to say the 3 things are dominate the line, dominate the line, dominate the line on all 3, on both sides. We dominate on the offensive line, we dominate on the defensive line, and we will dominate this game.
Yeah. Gilbert Reyes said the stage is set. Time to put up or shut up. Agreed. H. Canes, not sure of any NASCAR fans, but Greg Biffle and his entire family passed away today. Really good guy. Rest in peace and God bless them all and family. Yeah, I saw that story. It was really shocking. From what I understand, it was a private plane that had crashed, actually. It's so sad because you hear so many stories about the private planes crashing and whatnot, and with the families, and they're heading somewhere and everything. It's, yeah. Hate that it happened.
That was that was very tragic. I saw it was Garrett Mitchell, the guy, another that he was going to be hosting. He was waiting for them. Him and his family. It was going to be a family vacation.
Yep.
How tragic! How tragic! You know, every day is a freaking blessing. I mean, we all walk around. We're upset about something. Someone cuts you off in the car. Something happens. You never know what someone else is going through. In this particular case, it's obviously that was a total tragedy. But you just never know what someone else is going through in life. Everyone thinks, the world revolves around us, which it does. It's our story. But you never know what other people are going through. So, realize that sometimes we may think we have it bad, but having a tough day. But other people may be having a much worse day. And it's a real tragedy. Pray for the family.
I agree with that. I always tell people when they complain about a certain situation in life, I always say, it could always be much worse.
Oh, totally.
Yes. Sorry, guys. I'm back. I had to go inside for a bit. I'll jump on camera in a second. But, yeah, I'm hearing you guys. And that's why, Gio knows me well. You do, Brett. And we're not guaranteed shit, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I got off work and I saw that in the picture of him and his wife and the 2 kids. That is – and I'm not going to lie, I'm not a big NASCAR guy, but reading up on him, he did a lot of humanitarian stuff as far as after one of the Hurricane Helene, I think they said. Just terrible story, man. My goodness. Oh.
Such a tragedy. Wow. It's makes me sick when I see things like this. Why? Everybody knows why. Why do these things happen?
Hassan shared here, Gio, don't you think Miami needs another wide receiver 1 to team up with Tony, like Dallas Wilson if he jumps in the portal, or the Colorado wide receiver? He's pretty good. So a lot of factors come into play. Miami will look at the veteran receiver market.
Guys, Seattle won on a 2-point conversion, 38-37 in overtime. Unbelievable.
Wow.
What a game.
Wow.
Crazy.
Defensive battle.
Puka Nacua had 225 yards receiving.
I feel like it's a producer giving us that information off the air.
So, in terms about the wide receiver situation, though, and potentially a wide receiver 1, like someone on the outside, Miami would absolutely be interested if Dallas Wilson were to enter. However, I think many variables come into play. You still have Joshua Moore, who's expected to return. JoJo Trader, it's nothing set in stone if he does stay or doesn't go. A lot of talent with him. It's more so just putting it together. I think a lot of things will be weighed. I do know that they are open to it and in the market for a veteran wide receiver on the outside once again. But we'll see. You got to see the options that come available. Obviously, some names out there like Nick Marsh already out there in the portal as well from Michigan State. So just very early preliminary stuff right now with the portal. Things will move much more swiftly, and let's see, over the next week, there will be much more buzz. James Kane shared 1-0 every week. Howard Stern, even with
one second before you read that, just on that last one, I think the biggest thing now, I think NFL has to do it all the time, is there's only so much money there's to pass around. It's hard to bring in another. I mean, Malachi is going to probably get some good shingles. He's going to probably get a good contract. So how much money can you put in a second receiver? There's only so much money that they've got. So that's my thought on that, to bring in another legitimate number one star. When we may have stars right here on the roster, we've got Upshaw, who could turn out to be great the way he looks. What year is Marion? Is he a senior? Is he leaving?
Yeah, he's on his last year.
Okay, so we got Upshaw. We've got Moore. There's a couple other young guys that we got. So you never know. But I just think there's only so much money. It's hard to bring in a top-line receiver when we already have Malachi with the money he's getting. That's just my thought.
Yeah. Howard Stern shared, even with disappointments with Jordan Lyle, Lofton, and JoJo Trader this season, Miami still made it to the playoffs. It has a lot to say about the coaches. I agree.
Somebody hack his account.
Two of those three guys had really strong off seasons. I'm speaking about Jordan Lyle and Elijah Lofton specifically. Like, even in scrimmage settings, they looked like guys that were going to be like leaders of this team this year. Mm-hmm. And again, sometimes injuries come in the way. A slump could happen, whatever the scenario may be. What's to say those guys can't bounce back the next year? We've seen it happen with other players before. This year, Tamari Brown and Ruben Bain were guys who bounced back. So, but I do agree with you, Howard, that it does say a lot about them, about the coaches, about what they were able to get done and accomplish, considering guys that they were initially thinking that they could lean on, and it didn't come out that way. Not everything goes according to plan. Sometimes you got to come up with plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So I agree. Juan Manuel, Gio, and Brett, I've been to the Marlins and Heat runs. This team has the ingredients of a special season. Let's explain. Number one, health. Number two, talent and depth at key positions. I still have some concerns about depth at certain positions, but I agree overall, though, that it's the most balanced roster. Said it before the season started. I heard Mando give as well. I know he was very much on that same mind wave, that most balanced roster in very long time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think, but everyone's having some depth issues. Nobody has everything at every position.
Yeah, no, well, talent is much more spread now with the NIL era. Howard Stern asked, Brett, when do the Tua jerseys go on sale?
You mean Tua doesn't have a chance to be a superstar quarterback?
Well, now that he brought him up, so obviously now with him, he's now the third. He's the quote-unquote third-string emergency quarterback. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we know his contract is an albatross. What happens there going forward? Obviously, they need to see what Ewers can do. We know that 4 games is not a big sample size. But nobody's going to trade for Tua. So what do you – it's a tough situation there, because I know Cleveland for a couple of years, they had to suffer through the Deshaun Watson contract until this offseason. I think the owner, Jimmy Haslam, said, you know what? I admit it. I fucked up. He had to eat 50, 60 million a year, 200 million. It's just tough, because when you're paying somebody that much, it's crippling, man. It's a really tough situation there. What's going to happen with the Dolphins? It's crazy.
I think if they wait till June, next June, it's a lot more friendly for the salary cap. It's still going to be a hit, but as long as they cut him by next June or trade him or something like that. But teams make mistakes, they lose things. It happens all the time, and they come back. So people think it's the end of it if your quarterback doesn't work even after a large contract. But look, the Jets. I think they signed Darnell to a large contract. Then they got rid of him. Look how good they're doing.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch the whole Dolphin game Monday, but some of the passes, I don't know if it was the cold or what, but some of the passes just they were fluttering. Like it didn't look like a pro. Seriously, I'm not making fun of the guy. It didn't look
No,
like
he
a
doesn't
pro
have an arm. He doesn't have a
quarterback.
major league arm anymore. Does
Yeah,
not have a
something
major
was
league
off.
arm anymore. You're 100% correct. Mr. Flutter. That's a very good point. Can't throw the ball as far anymore. He's been injured. The concussions, it's worn out. They've shown him scrambling just 3 years ago, how he was running in and he could make moves. He can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
He's not the same guy. You're a small guy. You were hurt in college. You get beat up in the NFL. It doesn't take long for your body to break down.
The NFL's tough, and even we all know he's taller, but he's body wise he's not that big. Jaden Daniels, he's had injury plague second season. NFL's tough, man. NFL's brutal.
You need to be built like Josh Allen or Justin Herbert. Those guys are built like tanks.
Herbert is big, but his body's bad. He's in a busted ankle, his finger, but. Yeah, Allen's a freak. Allen's just
it's amazing that Tua's one of the only quarterbacks to play basically every game and every snap. I mean, Burrow's been hurt. Like every year he gets hurt. I mean, they're all getting hurt.
Yeah, because they never Cincinnati. And you know what? That's why I think he's been kind of hinting in the public that he doesn't want to play anymore, and maybe thinking about other teams because they haven't fixed the O-line in 5 years.
Let's trade him. I'll take Burrow here, and we'll give him Tua and a $100 CanesWear gift card.
Sounds like a fair deal.
I think so.
Yeah, man.
Gilbert Reyes shared his birthday's January 1st. Yeah.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Miami and New Year's, baby.
Yeah.
New Year's.
Howard Stern. Gio, what's your take on the new ACC schedule with the 9 conference games?
Jeez.
Well, it's the 9 conference games, and then some teams are not actually playing 9 conference games yet. It's just the whole disaster.
It's a circus act. Circus act, man.
He put, "Are you serious? We traded a home game for a road game in South Carolina. Total waste." Yeah, it's creating plenty of schedule shakeups for several teams across the country. SEC pushing the 9-game thing. ACC now it's
a 7-2. Some teams can go 7-2. Someone goes 7-1. You go 7.
So it's good.
Or actually 8-1, 8-1 versus I don't know what it is, but
it's going to bring up the tiebreaker thing again, like this season.
Yeah, they're supposed to be changing the tiebreaker though.
Shocker! that was quick.
The tiebreaker doesn't bother me. Listen,
now they will after what happened.
Yeah,
it ended up working out perfectly for us because we could have played in the ACC championship game and lost. I mean, anything could have happened. Probably not. If you're going to lose that game, you have no reason to think you're going to win the championship. But we got in. That's all that counts.
Yep.
Would have been nice to win an ACC championship.
Let's see.
Well, I will say, as a season ticket holder, they kept the prices for next year exactly the same, but there was only 6 home games. There was 8 this year, so now they added a game. So, I mean, as a season ticket person, I'm happy at least they added a game. So that's good.
I thought it's midnight. Okay. My wife has come by and said it's midnight.
Yes. Game day eve. It's game day eve. Sorry. I'm sorry, Gio. My bad.
There's no problem. Juan Manuel said, Julian Sayin is the ultimate transfer portal QB. He spent a spring at Alabama and left because of Nick Saban retiring. Yep. Just like Jeff George left Miami to Illinois. Oh, man.
Not many people remember that. Good call. He was also somewhere else, Jeff George, before Miami. He was somewhere else before Miami. Or maybe
wasn't he at Purdue before Miami?
Maybe it was, yeah.
I do have a good buddy of mine who told me about the whole Jeff George situation. Yeah, wow.
NFL quarterback, not great, but I had him on fantasy a couple of years and did well with him.
Juan Manuel, the key to win really is Miami running the ball for 175 plus yards, plus win the turnover battle. I could agree with those two.
I like those too.
Howard Stern said, correct one, run the ball, control the line of scrimmage, control the clock, control the game. Yeah, even though I think some Miami fans may start freaking out at first saying, hey, what are we doing? Why are we running so much?
Well, you know what? If we're running for 5 yards a carry, we're good.
Yeah.
And Pregle's going to break some against this team, I think. I think we're going to have some open field runs this game, which we have not really had all year. I mean, how many times have we run the ball and we've run over 50 yards? I don't think once, right? Over 40 yards have we run once. I don't know.
Yeah, very rarely. Yeah.
DJ Dallas used to do that on a much less offensive line. Bashard did that 2 years ago against Clemson.
Yep. 818 Calicane. My keys is offensive line has to hold up and establish, dominate run game early. Beck cannot turn the ball over. Agreed. Defense has to contain Reed and hold Carver and Casey to under 100 yards per each wide receiver. Stop the run as well.
I like this.
Ryan Smith said, we need Lofton to play up to his potential. The middle should be there for the taking. I agree. Texas A&M's linebackers have had some struggles from what I've watched in terms of dropping back into coverage, actually, which is that middle of the field. So let's see. Howard Stern said, Larry Coker is the one that offered Kirby Freeman a scholarship over a lot of players that became really good NFL players. I agree. Absolutely. You go back and look at it, it's almost astonishing.
He's in the Hall of Fame, too, for obviously for that championship, which he may have not been the key person there.
George Blanco, Ohio State has elite talent around their QB, offense and defense, hence the reason why they can take a chance with a redshirt freshman. Indiana got the best of them. Yep. Gio and Brett, I have a conviction that the day we are born is written and our exit date as well. However, our soul's journey continues on its karmic journey. Believe it or not, there are books with stories.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
That's what I believe, too. The day we were born is written and our exit date is written as well. Everyone's got a date. It's hard to think that sometimes. You think, well, if I would have done this, I would have done that. Would it have been the same? But I always think that, too. And then I think, is that a cop-out? But you're right. Everything is up to us in between. Are we going to be healthy? Obviously, if you jump out of a plane without a parachute and you survive, most likely you're not going to be walking straight. But you could be living for another 20 years. Good point, Juan Manuel. I knew you liked it for a reason.
Canes Jones. Mando, I see she let you turn the lights on. Would you like the remix to the commercial of CanesWear.com?
The remix? Did I see it?
I'm not sure if you have.
I'd like to see it, Canes Jones. Anybody want to come up with anything? I'm more than happy to.
Yeah, the lights are on. The lights are on.
I know it's a hanky-panky in the dark.
Juan Manuel shared here. The Dolphins ownership needs to take remedial math. Tua, with his injury history and his growth, have reached its ceiling. Whoever made that Tua contract should be a class in bad negotiations.
They fired him.
They did. They got rid of him.
The GM, and he was supposedly a great guy, Greer. But wait a second, we either sign Tua or nobody else wants him. Which do we do? How many bidders? Nobody. Okay, let's give him everything.
James Kane shared A&M has struggled with tackling. Yes, they have, especially the last few games. 818 Cali Kane. I like Lofton, but if we had a tight end like Arroyo on this team right now, man, the mismatches all day long. I agree. I absolutely agree. Funny enough, Arroyo still had one more year of eligibility, but I don't blame him for going to the league. Cash in while the iron's hot in terms of your stock. Juan Manuel, bring back Mario Flintstone. Bam, 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 bully ball.
I like Mario. It's a leather ball. Now I don't want to see that come back, but but I'd like our offensive line to dominate the line of scrimmage. Because if those guys are dominating the line of scrimmage, Pringle, Fletcher are going to get some big runs.
Yep.
And the last comment of the night, James Kane, 4001. Lance Archer had the best line AEW wrestler. Everyone dies. Oh, and one more comment from Canes Jones. Mando reposted it. Just have him send to you or look in your Facebook or X account DM. Send to you before I posted them all over social networks. Brett, step your game up. I'm trying to make that paper.
I appreciate that, Canes Jones. Always do appreciate your support. Absolutely. I've got a lot of plans for 2026. So anybody want to help me in the crusade, you're more than welcome to. But thank you. I will check that out. Canes Jones. Awesome. Remember Canes Jones show tomorrow on X. The space is what time is that? About 6 o'clock, Gio?
Yeah, usually starts around 6, about 6 to 8.
Get in there. Lots of good information. Great talking. Lots of guys and jumping in. So it's an awesome show. You want to
Game Day Eve. Check it out on Game Day Eve. Yeah, check it out.
Game Day Eve, Mando. Exactly. Game Day Eve. GDE, baby. All right. Great show, folks. A ton of questions, a ton of comments. You guys never disappoint, and you let us get off at about 12:15 this time. We had a 1:30 recently. That was really fun. So
you guys stayed on till 1:30? Holy shit.
It was 1:32? It wasn't 1:30, right? Yeah, so it was a long time. 9
Somewhere around there, yeah.
That was after we got in the playoffs, or was it was the time before? I'm not sure when they were voting us out.
Well, all I know is I hope our next one is talking about a win.
Absolutely. So once again, thank you to Bobby and the FTSN Network. Please like and subscribe. Thank you again to CanesWear, the CanesWear podcast. And by the way, those graphics, who did those graphics? Bobby? Those are phenomenal.
Yeah, that looks great. That looks really good.
Amazing stuff, Bobby. Thank you so much. And CanesWear, we got your playoff shirts. We got your we're in. We've got magnets. We got flags. No matter what, we win, which I don't think we're going to lose. But if we do, we got in the playoffs. It's something to celebrate. It's something proud to wear. And if we win again, the shirt's good the whole playoff season. It's not like the Final Four, which is over very quickly. You got 10 days to be excited and energetic. So come get your shirts before they're gone. Got lots of hoodies, got the starter jackets, got a lot of other things going on at Canes. Well, remember, we're going to post a contest tomorrow for a $200 first prize that everybody will share, or one person wins it all, guess the score. I'll put that up tomorrow. Like and or follow and download our mobile app. And that's all I got for right now, but I'll be back in a second. Mando, tell them what's up with you.
Well, you guys find me here every week with the great Gio and you, Brett. And see me on X, and just looking forward to the work day tomorrow and just to be off for a few days with the family and just ready for noon on Saturday. I really am excited about this game, as we all are. And seriously, shout out to you guys that just comment and watch. Really appreciate it. Seriously, very cool stuff. I know it's late as hell. It's pretty cool that we actually have folks that come on here and check us out. So I appreciate it.
No, I grew up with talk radio, and a lot of us obviously remember talk radio. Obviously, Jim Mando, you had a lot of other guys on there. Chris Myers, I remember him and Sonny Hirsch. Chris Myers does the NFL games now, NASCAR, a bunch of things. I used to call him up all the time. He was on KAT with Sonny Hirsch. Obviously, everyone remembers Neil Rogers, Hank Goldberg, those guys. So while we're not taking calls, we're almost the next best thing. We're actually listening and answering questions and comments, which is great. I don't think a lot of podcasts do this. So we enjoy this very much, and we hope you like this format. We'll look at some other things bring guests on the show and things like that as well. And we're excited to make 2026 an awesome year, and maybe do this more often if it's in our schedules, so we can be a regular on your AM dial. Gio, you go, and then I'll just finish up. Tell us where you go and anything else you got.
Everyone can find me on X at Gio Milian. I was also on Comments on Canes earlier this week with Michael Yo, a friend of mine. Was on WQAM just yesterday talking about the Canes and heading into this matchup and whatnot. You can also find me on here all the time, CanesWear podcast with Mando and Brett. Make sure to shop at CanesWear in Davie, 2655 South University and Drive in Davie, Florida. Playoffs is here. We are much less than 48 hours away. It's basically, let's see what time it is right now. Now it's already Friday. So a day away, basically. So make sure to get stocked up on your Canes gear. This is a historical moment, a first time the Canes are in the playoffs, back in the postseason for the first time in over 20 years. That's been a long time coming, but it's here.
Absolutely. So want to wish everybody a happy holiday. We may see you before if we do a Sunday. If we're available Sunday, we'll see. We'll let you know. Follow us on X, and we'll announce it if we are. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll probably be back with you before, but in case we miss you, People ask me, Brett, what do you celebrate? I say I celebrate everything. I celebrate life. I celebrate people. I celebrate while we're all on this journey together for whatever reason, just to make this world a better place for every person. I reach out to everybody. I touch, just everybody. I know Mando and Gio are the same. We just want, we're all in this together. It's a crazy world at times. And like you said, one of my favorite, I'll leave you with this comment. One of my favorite comments is, I tell my kids all the time, life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. You know what? You control your own story. It's your story. Make it great. And there's always people out there. Holidays is sometimes is a blessing time, but it's also going to be a difficult time for some people. So we're here on the show. Call us anytime. Talk to us. Reach out to us. The Canes family is very strong, and make sure to take advantage of all those great resources we have as one big family. And with that, I say thank you. Anything last minute, guys? Besides, it's all about the you.
Ready? Go Canes, baby.
Go Canes. We look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.